Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome back to Roll4It, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Layla the Vampire Slayer. We're Roll4It, of course, for your favorite YouTube and streamers who get together every week, twice a week, in fact, to play some nerdy role-playing games. Today, of course, we're playing Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We have an interesting continuation from last week's episode, so look forward to that.
We don't all hate you right now, so...
I was half expecting Josh to interrupt and yell at you again.
I was actually surprised that didn't happen.
I'm saving it. Don't you worry.
Yeah. And the blue hair is because of something they promised in our Monday show. If you don't watch Divinity yet, get caught up, because tomorrow they're doing it.
Yeah, Lauren is a bad influence, and Blue Jay is also really, really a terrible influence as well. Yeah.
I just want to put this out. Lauren has had blue hair this whole time, and she has not gotten you to do this. It's definitely Blue Jay.
We reached like the tipping point of blueness.
Definitely said they should do it.
Yeah.
Also, we can't blame Blue Jay because we were the ones stupid enough to go, yeah, that won't happen. Sure,
Yeah, see,
we'll do it.
That's the part where I was surprised, because I'm like, you're all YouTubers and streamers, don't you know how Twitch chat works?
Yeah, if you tell them, like, hey, if you donate enough, we'll do it. They're like, yes. I'll watch all of the commercials so I can get all the bits and donate.
Yeah, like, I was surprised when I was, like, raising money for charity, and I was like, oh, here's this stupid amount, and then they did it, and I was like, okay. I guess I will do the thing I said I would do. Now you know.
We know better, but it probably won't change what we do because we don't really learn. The definition of idiocy is doing the same thing repeatedly and like expecting a different outcome. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell. Anyway, welcome back to Roll4It, where we do stupid things repeatedly and expect different outcomes. Speaking of which, today we're continuing after last week's interesting plot where the team managed to kill a fallen angel by the name of Pennymoo, who was masquerading as Mr. Penrose, their librarian. However, as they went back to celebrate, Layla went out to fight some vampires because she was kind of pissed. Imogen went in the shower because she was kind of covered in blood. Robert, Barnaby, and Barnaby's newly regenerated, like back to his full faculties, brained boyfriend, James, were all celebrating in the girls' room, having a drink, when someone opened fire on them with what turned out to be an assault rifle. James took a few bullets to the chest and went down, seemingly very dead. Robert took a bullet to the forehead and went unconscious. And Barnaby, in a fit of rage, hulked out, turned into his demon form, but a super empowered form of his demon form, and then proceeded to smash down the wall and exit from the third floor. And chase down whoever was responsible. Layla, who was outside on her way back to join them, saw the gunfire and headed off in direction of that. And then when she got there, realized that, I
heard the gunfire, went to the gunfires. Yeah,
yeah.
there you go.
And then she got to where the shooter had been sniping from. Back Tarby, Barnaby's demon form, joined her. She was fairly surprised. And they proceeded to run off to chase, apparently, their former watcher/biology teacher, who is now a vampire, by the name of Mr. Miller, who had left a taunting note with the twisted form of the assault rifle.
Yeah.
Imogen exited from the shower, quickly put on some trousers, and then, because time was short, proceeded topless to enter the room.
I want to point out, I am not going to cosplay that because terms of service.
Yeah, no, it would be somewhat difficult. You know, we want to give you this accurate cosplay, but...
You could wear one of those,
I did think about wearing, like...
one of those, like, swimsuit things, or those shirts that have, like, the fake ones.
Like a leotard.
I'm not sure if that
but,
still
like,
breaches terms of service,
the hairy
though.
man boot one.
That's
funny.
One of those fake, like, foam chests.
Yeah, it's great.
Camera, there we go.
This is not a conversation I can really join in. Anyway, it's not stopped me before. Imogen then may have got somewhat angry and somehow tapped into a source of magic within her, which made her go a little bit uber form. She is now levitating. She proceeded to heal Robert back to some health pretty damn quickly, and then
Should not be walking right now.
About half a bobbard of health, right?
Yeah, lot more. It was because you healed 20,
And
and
you
I
were
was at like
28
-9. 26 is my max.
Oh.
So
okay,
most of a bobbard.
most of a bobbert. That is a very accurate term there. She then proceeded to talk to Violet, their now mundane vengeance demon, who is now a human, and tell her to follow her, and this is going to be really interesting. She floated out the window to go do some vengeance.
I didn't tell her to follow. She's
Okay.
just voyeur at this point.
She's just a voyeur. She's following with. Floated out the window. Robert, kind of left there, looks over, sees that James is dead, runs to his room to grab his kit, and then proceeds to chase down Layla and Barnaby in demon form outside.
Attempt to chase down, I think, is the better term.
Yeah, attempt to chase
Slowly
down.
catch up with.
It's a little bit of effort for someone who's got a strength of 1.
1, yeah. I'm like the golem. I'll get there eventually. If they stop long enough, I'll catch up.
Speaking of which, there is a inanimate golem lying in the forest out back from the school. That's another story entirely right now. Anyway, so before we get into that, we have a few
It's
announcements.
broken, right? The paddle's broken?
The paddle's
Oh, it's
very
gonna be
broken.
more
Yeah.
broken.
Yeah.
So, a few announcements. Firstly, this episode is brought to you thanks to one of our high-tier supporters on Patreon. Bentham, do you want to do the honors?
This episode is supported by Legend tier supporter Joe Fu, who originally when we asked him was like, I think I'll do one of the Divinity episodes. We were like, have you seen the most recent Layla episode? He's like, no, I'm going to go watch it now. I'm like, I'm just going to pencil in that your next Layla episode.
As soon as he finished watching it, he was like, Layla episode, next Layla episode, yes.
Yeah. He was also like, Bentham was talking in our admin chat, and he's like, yeah, I can't wait to see what he says after he finishes the episode.
He's like, I just got to the break. I'm like, okay, I'm going to just set my clock for like an hour from now.
By the way, when we came up with the legend tier, it was kind of because you guys gave the feedback of like, hey, we want this type of tier, we want these type of rewards, and you guys said this is how much you wanted to pay. And we're like, they're crazy, and you guys are crazy, but we love you, and we hope that what we're able to support and give you guys for that tier is sufficing. I don't know.
So that tier pays for most of an episode, so thank you very much.
Yes.
Righto. So, if you want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/roll4it, where there's a whole load of different perks and different tiers that you can get by supporting the show for different things. For instance, there is a lovely low-tier option of just like $1 a month, where you get access to our Discord, and you get access to MP3s of the show, so you can listen as you go. Then there is also the next tier up, which is after shows, where Josh throws things at me and wishes that he can enact physical violence upon my person. Then the tiers
Smile
above...
suggests he's already still wishing that.
He's still wishing, yep. Then the tiers above that get like more and more stuff, like you get the ability to look at player sheets and then GM sheets, for instance, if you want to know Pennemew's stats for last episode. There is a whole load of stuff in there about, Pennemew, his powers and stuff.
Precious James.
There is also James's stats.
You know, if James didn't fall in love with you, Barnaby, he'd still be alive.
Don't blame me for this.
Yeah,
is
no,
true.
in fairness, James was in love with Barnaby before Barnaby started having feelings for him, so...
But he could have fallen in love with somebody else.
It's true.
Yeah, you should have rejected
You had to
him.
work harder then, didn't you?
So you can support us that way. Also, if you want to support us, you can subscribe here on Twitch. That also gets you access to the Discord and also gets you access to a load of emotes. So you can use, for instance, Roll James, which is my personal favorite right now. So if everyone wants to type Roll James in the chat, you can.
Yeah, he sent me, he's like, here's the new emotes. And I was like, okay. He's like, what if I do this? And I was like, you're evil. You're so evil. But yes, you can do that.
The important part there is she said it's evil, but yes. She gave me license to, so there we go. chatting so much. It's great. Also, you can support by using Twitch bits, or you can tip actual real monies in an electronic format, and it all goes into that little cup down there and helps to support the show. Now, if you don't have money, this is a part of the show where I normally say you could do some sort of crazy stunt like skywriting. However, because of the activity on the Discord recently has been insane, to say the least, multiple thousands of messages, I was going to instead read you some excerpts that I recorded. If I can find them. My PC did just restart.
There's a Reddit thread talking about all the new ways.
That's for Monday. That's for Monday. I'm saving that for Monday. They've
okay.
really good ones in
It's
there.
really funny. I was like, oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. So thank you guys for all of the awesome stuff. And I think we even got a couple pieces of fan art too. Like, it's just nuts.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
Have I missed fan art?
I think the Layla one, the guy finished, right? So I don't know if we updated
Buff
that.
Layla. Yeah.
Buff
Yeah.
Layla is-
And he said he's going to work on the other two the other characters now. The other three.
I want to see a
Generally,
buff hero
everything
sheep.
on
Eye
Twitter.
patch, cigar.
Hey, do
Oh,
we have any
there
hero
was
sheet
fan
put
art.
out yet? We need some.
There was fan art of, this was for Monday's show, but there's fan art of Josh as a mermaid, which I thought was so cute.
Oh, yeah.
Because your hair.
That's my friend Laura. She's a professional artist, and she drew it in paint.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. It needs to be added to the mix of fan art anyway, because it's
It is
great.
pretty good.
Cool.
I'm tempted. So, these are sort of, messages that were uplifting and important and help shape the community and show you, what we bring to the table. So starting off with Claude. It was an easy decision to use my bonus from work to boost my pledge amount. With the content and the community Roll4It has to offer, I mean, it's just a beautiful thing, really. Then we've got Tech Priest Khan. It's such a good community. Then Angel Ray. Also, the Discord is also a support group for your destroyed feelings. And then Tech Priest Khan.
Wait,
It's
where
only
was
just
where were these comments at?
These are from the Discord.
Oh my
And
gosh,
then
you
another one
guys.
from Tech Priest Khan. It's only just emotional damage. It's super fun. So, yeah. The Discord
Oh my
is
gosh,
a
we need to
support
make
group
like
for
a
my
trailer
channel.
and have like the testimonials on there.
Yeah.
I was
Actually,
expecting you
I
to
am
have a list of like people saying "Screw you, I'm gonna kill you."
I mean, that was the tempting one. That used to be that.
I am making
There were too many though.
I am making a Roll4It trailer for our Patreon coming up here soon. And there's a ton of reviews on Facebook if you guys want to toss one over there. We really appreciate it. It helps people find us in the SEO algorithm that is Facebook. But thank you guys so much. I think we even had a couple more reviews over this week, so appreciate that.
I'm expecting everyone watching now to go on Facebook, give us 5 stars, and the review is FUE.
No.
Kind of expecting that. Be a bit more creative. Anyway, so I think that's enough.
We're just prolonging this because we're so afraid of what's going to happen next.
I feel like we can
We're
tell
all
people
gonna
to
die.
be more creative to swear at you. You would make a great teacher.
What is your most creative what do you call it, outburst from yourself that you've come up
For
with?
myself?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I can think of the most creative thing a student called me. It wasn't even that creative, but
Oh,
it did
okay.
stick with me.
What was that?
They called me a British fuck. I was like, I don't even know what that means. And I spent a long time trying to understand it. I was like, what are you talking about? And then he just kept saying it over and over again. I worked with really special children. Now that I
sound
do
that
realize-
special of an insult. I was expecting something really special.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. I
Yeah.
was so disappointed. I just kept telling him to get better insults, and then he didn't.
I'm putting an F for your insults. Effort, at least a B. You did try. It's just attainment, not quite there.
Yeah, no.
He is not impressed.
Righto. So, without further ado, I'm going to close my testimonial window, and we're going to get back to the evil music. Ooh, who should we start with?
No, don't do it.
We have Layla and Barnaby
We
running
can
off
start
in
with
the direction.
James's dead corpse, just to start the scene off. No. and Robert next to him.
Definitely.
I'm gone.
Robert is gone. He's gone to go grab
Open-
ammo and stuff.
Opening scene.
I'm gonna grab
Layla
all
and
the
Barnaby?
beer I have. All of it.
Layla and Barnaby are currently running off into the night, tracking down Mr. Miller. Layla rolled pretty well on her tracking test, so she's trying to follow these footsteps as the rain starts to wash them away. Barnaby, not so well, but is following Layla pretty well because he's ridiculously big and lumbering right now. Imogen...
He's on steroids right now. Like, what the heck?
Yep. Imogen is headed out back towards the down form of the golem, and Robert is just beginning to exit the building, headed towards tracking down Layla and Barnaby, carrying all of his gear that he could get. So, we should start off low-key. Robert, you go out into the cold, wet, damp of the evening. You can smell the beginnings of that cold sensation that you get that sort of forms into a smell when it hits sort of like fresh grass and so on around you. And it's really kind of confusing to you. You've just gone from a scene of utter devastation to suddenly outside, and it's actually fairly pleasant. Right now you're running on adrenaline and fury. You've got blood still trickling down your forehead from the cut that's mostly closed up. In your hands you have your railgun with, I think, 1 clip spare, because you already fired off most of the last clip.
Yep.
Along with, I think, a firebomb and a rocket launcher, because as you do...
Yeah.
You can see vaguely in the direction where Layla and Barnaby are exiting and headed further away into the night at a pretty fast speed from what appears to be a small outhouse on the edge of the school campus.
Yeah. I've been there. I've been there and seen the message already, and I stole the site. So
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I'm-
sorry,
I'm
no,
at
you
least
had
getting
got there,
this.
you just got there. Okay, so you're at the outhouse, you've just stolen the sight off the twisted form of the gun. You can see Layla and Barnaby headed further out.
Everyone's just receding into the distance. I'm like,
Yeah.
right. And I start setting off after them. But as I'm going, I look for a phone box.
Okay, make
Didn't
me a
Imogen
perception
tell you to
notice.
stay put?
I'm not sure
thought-
Imogen's the person to be taking life advice from right now.
Yeah, that's true. But
I don't think Imogen said anything to him. I think she was just
I don't
like,
think so.
"You a lie.
Either way,
are you alive? Okay, great. Bye.
either way Rob
I've got
cares not.
stuff to do."
Actually, Rob, you can choose to make a memory check, but since you've got photographic memory, it'll be like an intelligence plus willpower plus 3.
Oh man, he has photographic memory of your boobs now.
Roll for
Sorry,
concussion?
where my
I'm
mind
not
is.
sure. Yeah.
Was it knowledge intelligence plus 3, did you say?
It'll be willpower plus intelligence plus 3 because it's a memory
Willpower,
check.
okay.
I like that people pointed
Alright,
out,
I'll be
Maggie, that
fine.
last time you were very insistent on reminding everybody that.
Hey,
Imogen was
I just want to make sure they have the right picture here because everyone's acting like it's normal, and I'm like, she's topless. Like this is not a.
You live on a
There were
hellmouth.
other
Nothing about
things
your life is
happening.
normal.
Someone was dead. Everything
Yeah,
was
but that's
going
really
wrong.
not normal either. For like normal people.
Okay.
Demons, vampires,
I dropped
Demons,
Planet
vampires.
Top
Oh my
And
god, a
boobies.
topless girl. So Robert, yeah, you get 4 successes. Is it 5? 16.
lots. I get lots.
Plenty successes.
4.
As you head towards the direction that Layla and Barnaby went, there's actually a phone box just on the side. It's a small red phone box, overgrown with moss and a few broken panes of glass in it where, some of the kids at school have just thrown rocks against it.
Is it like nicely away from the school? I don't really hang around too close to the school at this
It's
point.
about
That has
50 meters off the edge. You can go a little bit further if you want to find another one. You probably know plenty around here with that roll.
As long as no one's around, I will go in there and I will ring 999.
Hello, operator. Which service do you require?
Police.
Okay, putting you through. Hello, this is Police,
Might as well.
Police Dispatch. How can we help you?
There's been I think there's been a shooting at the school. I don't know. I heard gunshots. I think someone got hit.
Okay, calm
There was-
down. Which school?
There was like an explosion. A wall came out. I don't know what happened.
Whereabouts is this?
It's Tom Hewell's.
Okay, where are you now?
I got away. I'm in a phone box. I'm all right, but he might still be around.
Okay, just stay on the line, and you can hear like the sound of a click as it just puts you on pause for a second and then comes back. Okay,
Oh, man.
please calmly describe exactly where you are and exactly what happened. We have dispatches en route now.
I'm in a phone box, like by the school, but the guy's probably still around. I don't know if I should stay here.
Okay. Do you know a safe location nearby you can call us from?
Yeah, I can get further away from here.
Okay. Please move to your next location. Do so quietly and calmly, and call us back as soon as possible.
All right, thank you. Did they say like did they say anything else or is it good?
You're good.
Like right. And then I put it back on. I'm like, okay. And then I start like pulling out. They said they were on their way. Damn it. Nah, I just leave then. I was gonna do something, but I'm gonna leave first.
Okay.
I'm just covering the fact that a wall is missing from our room, and also James is dead in there. I would like it to look like what it actually was, a shooting, rather than us doing anything. So,
I mean,
I carry on my way.
most of a magazine was emptied into that room. Like, there are a lot of bullet holes.
Yeah, that does help. Well, I don't know if there are any bullet holes. The wall came out.
It didn't help James. So do you head after Layla and Barnaby?
I carry on that way. Can
Okay.
I make the modifications I was wanting to make without any stuff, or should I find another phone box? Because I was totally going to rip the phone off the the wall and start using it to make things.
I will say, on your way, if you slow down a little bit, there are probably bits that you can salvage nearby. Like, you know the area around the school.
I find another phone box. I steal the phone off that. I use the wires. I make stuff.
Okay.
I mean, let's be real. You're already moving slowly.
Every time
when
you
there
just stop
used to
for breath, you just, like, start working on your thing and then just keep moving.
I remember when there used to be all those phone boxes everywhere. Like every few miles there was one.
Yep.
It's crazy. Now there's not. I don't know. In the UK, is there tons still? I don't remember seeing a bunch of them when I
They're
went.
still around.
Yeah.
There are a few still around.
I see
Red
some,
phone boxes
but
are listed in some cases.
in the US there are some too, but like it used to be like everywhere those things existed. But
So,
we didn't have
Robert,
cell phones.
If you can make me a intelligence plus super science roll.
Yes.
Plus-
do it. He's
It
like,
needs to
I will
fix
do
it.
that. He likes
right.
all of these things.
Are you intending to make
Intelligence
this as a
super
one-shot spell item or just as a normal item?
Well, the thing is, the thing I'm making is mundane. I could making it magical probably makes it easier to do, I suppose.
Well, making it a one-shot spell item makes it more potent, and it's not an actual spell, it's still a super science item, but it mirrors a spell.
A random blue box appears out of nowhere. Yes. Yes. Please.
Ah, it's finally here.
Steps out. We
The
squint.
thing I ordered from the
I'd be, like,
military.
so happy.
Right? Yeah, I'll make it a super sciencey thing then, I guess.
Okay.
Is that the role that
Doctor in the 90s.
In which
Fix
case
it
it'll be
with
science,
super
not
science.
Mr. Fix-It, because your super science always uses science, so it'll be
It's-
intelligence, science, super scientist.
I was going to say it's the same either way, but I forgot. No, my science is higher. I definitely don't need to drama point this.
He says, and then rolls a 1.
22. 6 successes.
6 successes.
I think I only really needed one to make the thing that I was wanting to make, but sure.
What's your intelligence?
5.
Okay, so the thing that you want to make will do intelligence times your successes points of damage. In a small area.
That's neat. I'll take that.
Feel
Yeah.
like he just made a grenade.
Okay. So you quickly start like taking bits of the rocket launcher apart, taking some of the other things you've got on you, sticking them together. Oh, did you combine the flame grenade into that?
That's involved, yes, in the thing I'm making.
In which case, by the way, you'll need to spend XP for that because it's a super science item. But you can combine the other super science item into it. It will do. I think you rolled like 4 successes last time. I'll say for the purpose of this, it will do 30 points of explosive damage and 20 points of fire damage
All right.
combined. So it'll do 50 points of damage in a small area.
30 explosive, 20. What was it? Was it 20?
Fire.
20 fire. Okay. Yep, that's nice.
Now, the important question is, are we doing chunky salsa rolls?
I don't think he needs them. I'll also say that it ignores armor for structures and people because it's an anti-tank rocket you used, whatever. So yeah, cool. So make a note of that. It ignores armor.
All right.
Right. You head after Layla and Barnaby. We're gonna
Yeah,
flip to the
I
other
stumble
side.
up into the darkness, not particularly trying to keep out of sight.
Okay. Imogen, over on the other side of campus, a topless girl levitates across towards the edge of the tree line. As she goes...
Are we in that, like, witch state where I just, like, walking is not a concept
I
anymore?
mean, you can walk if you choose. Do you want to walk?
Nah, it's fine.
Yeah, I thought so. Behind her runs the form of Violet with her very, like, sheer black hair, just trying to keep up. Just kind of amused and happy, and also slightly in awe.
Damn fucking straight.
You can see that Imogen's veins are starting to go black. And you can see that just towards like the edge of her fingertips and stuff, they're going grey and starting to crack. It's been 5 minutes since you went Uber form.
That was gonna be my question.
Yeah.
Great. So her immediate goal is to get to the golem.
Okay.
How long does it take her to get there?
It'll probably take you like another 3 minutes.
Okay. So she's when Imogen arrives, like, if it weren't for the strategically placed magic, you would be like, man, that girl needs to get some rest. / is she dying? It's unclear. So before she, so the golem was pretty near the woods / forest.
Yeah, just inside the tree line on the other side.
So she's gonna actually like pause for a second, kind of look down at the golem and realize that she is in an extreme amount of pain, and then go over to one of the trees and just place her hand on it and kind of whisper like I feel a bit bad about this, but also you're a tree. And she's going to drain the life out of it.
Okay. So as you stand there with your hand against the tree starts to go slightly grey and bits of bark start to flake, fall off. All the tree leaves, like, just that's starting to turn into that lovely autumn shade that's starting to fall. Instantly, you just start falling around you and turning black and then crisping up. The tree itself shudders slightly as you see bits of it contract, just as you sort of drain the very essence out of it. And a few, maybe 20 seconds later, the tree itself is just a grey, withered husk. Every single leaf fallen and just curled. The tree itself, just bare branches left there. You get 20 HP.
Perfect. That brings me back up to full. Again, I don't have a lot. It's like sighs and kind of lets out that deep exhale, and then just immediately whirls around and just wails on the golem. Like, she's not even gonna really try and get closer. It's one of those, like, as she's going on it, she's literally taking every ounce of force that she can summon with telekinesis to essentially, like, jackhammer it open.
Okay. As you turn around, you know, like, Violet sees you now, and your eyes are going black, but they've got this weird sort of glow from outside, just around the edge. It's very faint red. And Violet looks over and is just like, Imogen, you know you're, like, really hot right now.
I am very busy. Also, that is inappropriate.
Give me a roll
Also,
for
thank
telekinesis.
Sorry, telekinesis?
Yeah.
I have to figure out the bonuses that I've got to this. Okay. The damage is what's changed, so it's going to be willpower plus sorcery, right?
And you can have a +2 to either one of them.
Doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
I shall take the +2. I shall apply +1 to each. Willpower is now 5. Imogen has become a little bit more stubborn now. Plus 9. And because I really want this to happen quickly, I'm going to spend a drama point on it.
Oh, okay. Okay, how many successes is that?
24 is 7 successes. So she's just like, I am very busy right now, while doing whatever hand gesture she thinks she needs to do in order to jackhammer open a golem.
Okay, so basically, like, using your hand and just forming it into a fist and just swinging against the golem in front of you, you see a vague blur of form as something vaguely looking like a human fist, but made out of ripples of air, just impacts into the rock over and over again. It starts to crack. That'll do double your willpower, and your willpower is +2, so it counts as a punch, so it's 5 + 2, so it's 7, 7 doubled, 14, plus the successes, which is 7, so it's 21 points of damage, ignoring armor, because it does ignore armor against structures and inanimate objects. So...
Assume a golem is one of those.
Yep, the golem is not animated right now, so it does count as inanimate. So as you wail against it, cracks start to appear in the surface of the golem's chest. Its jaw, just one errant blow with your fury, just goes crack and just rips off, and you just keep wailing on it, and it starts to break apart. Judging by the amount of damage, I'd say it would only take you probably about 2 minutes to get through to the golem's chest cavity. And that's only because you have to slow down at the last minute to avoid damaging what's inside.
Eventually, you have to start digging carefully.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just.
As you get down to like a minute through and you start seeing something inside, there appears to be some sort of gemstone. It's clear, and there's something inside it moving, like a ripple of air that was maybe mist or something that's just contained in there. As you excavate more and more around it, punching and just using your telekinetic blows to just rip off huge chunks of rock, you notice that it appears to be some sort of, at a guess, you'd say it's actually quite a large, chunky diamond. It's not necessarily a diamond. You'd have to, be someone of a jeweler's persuasion to know. Yeah, it's a pretty nice gem, whatever it is. And inside is this just wisp of mist that just coils around and moves inside it.
Again, because if you can, why not telekinetically lift it gently out of the golem? This beautiful gem is sitting in the air in front of her. Now she's going to pay attention to Violet. I need your help.
Okay.
And she punches her in the face with the rock.
Grabs her arm and trades because she needs.
How does that make you feel?
While staring at this.
What do you need my help with?
I have a ritual, and I can't do it alone.
Does it help your friends?
I don't know. It'll make me feel better.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What is this ritual?
Remember I wanted to give him back his soul? I think I know how to do it.
That is evil. I like it.
Consider it a punishment.
We'll make a vengeance demon of you yet.
I don't know. I'm feeling alright without being one.
Okay, you can begin the ritual as she just produces a few items that she has in her satchel with her. You grabbed a few on the way out as well with your telekinesis that have just been floating around you this entire time.
Do I need, what? I needed some sort of link to him. I mean, obviously, I know who Mr. Miller is, and I have pretty strong, memory of him as a person. Do I need anything in particular?
You
It
need
would
something
help,
that he owns.
but it's not necessary for your spell. What you need to know is you need to have a strong connection to the person. If you don't know them, or you don't know them well enough, and you don't know the soul well enough, you would need an item. You'd need effectively a link, a material link, but you don't necessarily need one yourself.
Also know that I have a box of all his stuff underneath my bed.
I think the most obvious would be probably the journal that he was writing. But
And if you grab that on the way out, that'll work great as a material link. It'll be even stronger.
I mean, at this point, I am teleconnected. Sure, yeah, it's just a whirlwind around me.
Okay, so out of the world and around you, you just reach out your hand into this black sort of smoke that just surrounds you, and you pull it back, and the journal's in it. You've just been carrying it the entire time with your telekinesis. That'll work as a material link for both him as a vampire and his soul, because it's the same link to both of them.
You ready?
Oh, yeah.
God, you need to stop being so fucking creepy. I know you used
I
to
just
be.
want to mention, you're still topless. Just,
I mean, I was actually, my next line
This
to
whole
me...
conversation is happening.
I mean,
Still topless.
Just so
Imogen,
no one forgets.
do you
Yeah,
realize you're
Violet's
still-
definitely got eyes not where they need to be.
Eyes are up
I
here.
know I'm not wearing a shirt. I didn't have time to put one on before my friend was shot in the fucking head.
He was a boring one anyway.
I hope Violet dies.
I will let you live as long as you help me with this fucking ritual. But you screw me over and I swear I will do what I did to that tree to you.
Make a willpower plus influence roll.
Yes, I will.
And you can choose to use that +2 to boost your willpower for this because you can use the magic intimidatingly.
I will.
5 successes. That'll do. She looks like she's about to say something. You see like the corner of her mouth curl up slightly. But it goes back. And she's just like, okay, what do you need me to do?
Chant. Like, hands her the writing.
And with that, you use your telekinetic power to pull out a small bag of iron filings, and you start making a certain shape and a symbol on the ground in an area that you just clear of grass just by draining the life out of it. You can have 1 hit point for that.
Wait, I
and
lose 1 hit point? I
You
assume.
can have 1 hit point for
Oh.
draining the grass around you. It just goes flat to sort of this barren kind of earth.
Nom 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 nom.
And using that flat ground, which you compact a little bit with telekinesis, you start laying out a certain room with iron filings, and then you go over it with some herbs, and then you start chanting, putting the book in the center. That ritual will take a little while to cast, so we're going to jump back to Layla and Barnaby. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Josh is like trying to keep it cool. Hi.
Barnaby is strong. Barnaby is pretty big, which means he's got a pretty big stride, yet Layla is
Fast.
immense. She is fast, and she is currently leading Barnaby at a good margin. However, Barnaby's got a pretty good sense for where Layla is right now and is following you at a pretty fast rate, even though you are sprinting the best you can. Rain is beating down on you. For you, Layla, it's pretty much horizontal at this point because of how fast you're going combined with the rain. You can see in front of you as you run just these telltale tracks that you're trying to just follow as you go. You notice that there's a small scrape there, like someone has gone this way in a hurry. You notice a scrape there, like someone's put their foot down into a muddy patch and slid it backwards as they'd almost trip. And you just keep following them. It's this blur of motion as you go through the dark, rain beating down against your face, just trying to pick them out, just trying to keep ahead of Barnaby. Make me a perception plus notice check.
Both of us?
Just her.
16, which is 4 successes.
The 4 successes is definitely enough. You notice these seem to lead towards what appears to be like a warehouse on the edge of town.
Of course, because, you know, creepy warehouse is definitely where I want to be right now.
Cheaper to film there.
All right,
It's in
yeah.
the quarry.
I'm running towards
Yeah, no,
the...
it's just over the border into Canada. It really helps in the licensing permits for the show. Yeah, you can see as you get towards the warehouse that the tracks are getting more fresh, more recent. There's less sign of them being washed away by the rain. You're definitely catching up on whoever this was. You suspect Mr. Miller. And as you get towards the warehouse, you notice that the doors at the front are locked, chained, but one of the side doors used by personnel is open and ajar leading inwards. It looks like they went in there very
it's a
recently.
jar?
Yeah, it looks like it's open, and it looks like someone entered there very recently, like a few minutes
This
ago.
is such a trap. Does it look like there's any other way to get in?
At a quick glance, no. You could spend time to recon the situation if you wanted, but that would take some time. It's up to you. But as you go up, certainly someone's make effort to just close up this warehouse. Whether it's someone making a trap, or whether it's someone who's just left the warehouse and like isn't using it and has just locked it down and chained the front off.
Are there windows at the top or any way to like go in through the top? A ladder or like an escape ladder, or not escape ladder, but you know, fire
There
ladder
isn't a
type.
fire escape or anything. You can see on the top that there are like some skylights and ventilation. If you got up there, you could enter through one of those if you wanted, but you'd have to get up there. It's up to you.
I can jump really high. Can I
I-
jump up there?
That's my plan as well.
Acrobatics plus dexterity.
Okay.
Is Barnaby capable of this much rational thought right now?
I'm wondering if I should spend drama points or not on this, but I'm not sure.
I'm probably gonna spend a drama point because my dex isn't very high, but I believe as a hunter kind of demon, there's not much rational thought happening, but there is like planning going into like the immediate actions.
Yeah, same here. Like, that's why I'm like, don't go through the front door like an idiot. I'm not that bright, but I'm bright enough in that.
This.
So I'm thinking I spend a drama point.
Up to you.
Oh God, it's like, do I do it? I'm doing it. All right, is it acrobatics dex?
Acrobatics dex.
So add 10 to this,
Okay.
and it's going to be 28.
Let me check my notes to know exactly how ridiculous you are.
Very.
But I'm sure 5 success probably would have got me up there. I just wasn't sure.
Outrageous. 8 successes. Yeah, you run...
It is a building, like a giant warehouse building, so I figure like it's probably a lot
you
higher.
run straight at the building and you notice off to the side like someone's parked a car that seems to have all its like tires and wheels and hubcap nicked and stuff. It's just sitting there on blocks, and you just run up the side of the car and then jump off the top, and you fly a good 8-10 meters and land and roll on top of the building, and you get towards one of the skylights. You can see in the distance Barnaby's starting to catch up. He's probably only 30 seconds behind you at this stage.
I like see. I'm looking at Barnaby to see if he sees me, and the second I get recognition that he does, I'm going to proceed.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I can see
there's just going to be
skylight
like
now?
one of those eye-catching moments where like,
Can I see down into the sky thing now, or
Make a perception notice check.
okay, perception notice. 16. Another 4.
You can see in vaguely, it is very dark in there, so it isn't a lot of light in there, but you can see that there are a few crates, some tarpaulins. There is movement at one end, like a figure.
And is this the only skylight I can see through?
Effectively, yes. It's kind of like one big 4-section skylight, but it's effectively the one area.
Does it look like I can open it in any way?
Yeah, yeah. In fact, like one of the panes is actually damaged and rain is leaking in through it, so you could easily enter through it if you wanted.
I would like to enter through it.
Okay. You quickly hop and drop down to the ground. You're the Slayer. You do it with such grace and such like finesse. You just like land. And you do that like leg out to the side, like bow-legged, like stealth land, and slowly rise up. At which point, spotlights go around you, and you're momentarily
I
blinded.
knew it was a trap.
As around you, you see 10 vampires, all armed with baseball bats or pipes or huge
Oh, it
wrenches.
looks like a party. I guess I didn't get a proper invite, but hope you don't mind that I dropped in.
Drama point. However, at the end, you notice standing on a slightly raised gantry in front of a table, wearing a breastplate, and of course, underneath it, you can see tweed waistcoat as well. And
Oh, is it your
pulling up
birthday?
a broadsword onto his shoulder is Mr. Miller. Layla, didn't you get my invite? I thought I delivered it to your friends in your room. It's a shame you weren't there.
Ooh. Ooh. I am angry. It immediately stuff's rushing to her head. Gunfire, shot. He must have done something of that sort. And Layla
Layla. I
wants
trained
to punch
you,
him in the
and
groin.
now, well, he's a little bit far away from you from that. He's probably about 20 meters away or something. Maybe
It
not
doesn't
20.
matter. I will jump and punch the shit out of his groin.
Okay. As it happens, he says, Layla, I trained you. I know exactly what you're capable of, and even this is a little bit beyond you. At which point, Barnaby, how are you entering?
through
Train
the whole.
her! He was her watcher
like
for
5
like
minutes.
2 weeks.
Yeah, for like 2 weeks.
All right.
Very
They bombed in a
self-inflated ego.
graveyard and that was it.
He's taking credit for a lot more than he thinks. Also, yeah, he got his ass kicked in the
Asshole.
graveyard. Exactly. I know he's an asshole. He's gonna get his ass beat.
Barnaby, how are you?
Oh,
entering?
don't worry, guys. I have some lines whenever Barnaby gets here.
Nice. Well, Barnaby does get there through the hole that he makes in the ceiling.
So
I hope
outside,
you don't mind. I brought a +1.
as you say that, Barnaby just outside, just as the Hulk slam down, goes flying into a ballistic arc, lands on the roof, which is mostly just corrugated iron held up by struts every so often, and it just goes smash, ping, and collapses to the ground, right in between two of the vampires at the back who are staring at Layla with baseball bats.
Don't look at me.
10 vampires, 20 nuts, 4 fists.
With that, Layla, Barnaby, can you roll me initiative?
Hell yeah, we
Okay.
can. I'm ready. 16 is this episode brought to you by the number 16.
I
Or
couldn't
successes.
spend drummer points on initiative, right?
Don't remember if you can, but
Can't
Wasn't it
remember.
that you can like spend it to get to the top of the track or something? I don't know.
I will
Yeah, I
say
think that is.
yes, but it will count as your drum point usage for the first turn, so you won't be able to use a drum point in the first turn because it will count as drum point used in the first turn.
Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna roll the initiative. 9.
There we go, that's the stat sheet. Okay.
It does not appear to be officially in the rules.
No, because initiative isn't officially in the rules.
Also true. I forgot about that. It's one of the other things
They
I read
say,
about.
oh, if you want to, you can have initiative, and then just never mention it beyond that.
No, it's in a box.
Does it actually say how to do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is what we're doing. It's
Sweet.
Dex. Yeah. There's a
Plus,
box.
fast reactions, I think. Okay.
Yes.
So, vampire. There we go. Combat score. This is going to be fun. So, we've got 16 with Layla, 9 with Barnaby. Barnaby, you are running on rage
dude,
right
he's
now.
working so hard right now.
Oh, yeah. If you want, you can choose to re-roll that 1d10.
Me?
Mm-hmm. Because it relates
I
to your
got
kill.
I got a 7.
Statistically, you are unlikely to get higher.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
not gonna re-roll that.
Very well, in which case it is Layla, Miller, vampires, and then Barnaby. You look out, by the way, and you notice that Mr. Miller is kind of taken aback and shocked, like he's frozen in place for a second. And with that, Layla takes advantage of the opportunity. There's a lot of crates and stuff in front of you. He's kind of up on a gantry. If you want to try to get to Miller in particular, you'll have to go round through some of the vampires nearby.
First question, what does his armor look like again, exactly?
It's a breastplate. It's a single sheet of metal beaten round until it kind of covers the torso.
Is it only covering the front, or is it covering the back as well?
I don't. No, it's not covering the back, technically.
Okay. And you said, are there pillars like up on the top of the roof?
There are girders.
Like bar-
There aren't any bars or anything, really.
No bars, but like pillars that are like holding the roof together, or anything?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, there are a
crossbeam?
few central columns.
Okay. I would like to like monkey bar across those and to him. I would, but I want to like get up. So I want to like go across, swing my legs up, and drop down behind him.
Okay, if you want to do that, then
Yeah.
you'd have to get up to the side to get high enough. As you go up the stairs, you'd be able to get high enough to do that. You could probably bypass a number of the vampires. You'd probably have to fight 2 or 3 of them, but then you can get up to do that. So you can bypass about half the vampires by doing that.
Rafters, yeah, something like that code.
Yeah, it's. I would just call it like the horizontal girders, the load-bearing ones. But yeah,
Yeah, the low bearing, yeah. Exactly.
yeah. So if you want to head up the
Support
side, you
beam.
can fight. Like,
That's what I'm thinking.
If you want to head at the side, you can fight like maybe 2 vampires before doing that this turn.
Okay.
You'd have to go through the vampires first.
All right. So that's 3 actions, right?
You'll be able to do this turn. You'd have to get through the vampires. Like you'd have to actively either knock them down and then move over them, because you can move over them when they're knocked down, or you could actively just kill them because it is you.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna run forward and
Joist, that's the word. Ceiling joist.
ceiling joist. Okay. I would like to stake to the heart 2 of them. Okay, maybe 1. I'll start with 1. Let's do 1. I'm too nervous.
So with that, you just run off to the left at the first one, who's got just this iron pipe with a curved bit on the end, who's a bit taken aback by how fast you move. He raises it, but it's leaving his chest wide open. You go for just 1 stick to the heart?
Yeah, 1 stick to the heart. I'm nervous because I keep rolling 16, so that's why I don't want to like roll 2 negatives.
Fair
and
enough.
stick to the heart's already a -3. So, I didn't add any bonuses, so I don't know if I get like a +2 or anything for Barnaby being there, but 18, which is 5 successes, I believe.
And that includes
Yes.
the -3 on it, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I already did all the math on that end. Don't you dare try to.
That is a hit. Yeah.
Woo, stake to the heart. She like comes up around the side and stabs him in the heart as she slides through, and she looks at the next one and she's like,
How much damage
Don't
does it do?
"Don't worry, you're next." How much does that do? Is that
5 times, right?
5? Is it 5 times?
18.
Yep.
5 times my strength, which is 8, which is 40, plus the successes, right, or something like that. Just 5.
Okay, so it'll be 5 times your strength plus successes on top. So you've got 5 successes,
8
so it'll be
plus
45.
5, which is 13 times 5, 65.
No, it's 8 times 5 plus successes. So it's 40
Oh,
plus 5,
okay.
45.
Okay, 50, so 50.
It works slightly differently for Stake to the Heart.
Okay, yeah, 50. 50.
Massive number is all I heard.
50. I'm 55, which 50.
Wait, your strength is 8, right?
Yes.
So 5 times 8 is 40, plus your successes, which was 5. So 45.
Oh, 45, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
As you go and you just run at him and you go to stab him, he kind of brings it back to try and swing at you, and his arm gets in the way, and you stab straight into his arm. He screeches in pain. Ah! You can see that his fangs are obvious. His head just kind of bobbly and ridged, but your blow didn't manage to get to the heart.
What? I have to hit more than an 18 to hit him?
No, you
See,
hit
this is
him,
like-
but you just didn't take him to 0. The only way that Stake to the Heart works on vampires is if you hit them to 0, it does 5 times damage. If you don't, it only does normal damage.
Oh, shit.
Which, for stab wounds against vampires,
This is
they're
the
pretty
first time I've
resilient.
stabbed somebody and not killed them. Oh,
Yeah, he didn't bring
Why
the
do
crappy
that?
vampires that you've been fighting for the last, 12 episodes.
damn it. Okay.
However, he does take, I think it's base damage plus successes, not doubled for stabbing. So he'll take 8 plus your 5 successes. He did take 13 points of damage.
Okay, I don't say you're next to the other one then.
As you bullet 3s from this guy's arm. That brings it
Oh, well,
to
that's different.
Miller. Miller just pulls the sword down, pulls out a crossbow, loads it. He's not going to fire this turn. That makes it vampires go. The vampires are also somewhat constrained by the fact you kind of moved up the stairs. They can't actually all get at you at once, so only 2 can fight you at any one time, Layla. The other vampires next to Barnaby are going to start acting as well, so the 2 are going to fight Barnaby, 2 are going to fight you. So let me just check. The first one, Layla, the one that you just stabbed in the arm, brings the pipe back and tries to swing at you double-handed. If you can make me a dodge.
Oh, is it me making a dodge or him
Yeah.
making a dodge? Okay. Sorry. I'm making my dodge. 20, which is 5 successes on the edge of 6.
Yeah, you just easily just like leaning back as this pipe just goes in front of you, hits against the side of the banister as you go up. The next guy though just tries to just one-handed hit you over his friend's shoulder. You do not have a dodge left, which means you automatically fail. So that would be, with his bonus for ganging up, an 18. So that's 5 successes. His strength is 5. He does improvised bludgeoning weapon 3 times strength, so it's 15 plus 5. 20 points of bludgeoning damage against you. As he brings this just broken bit of like a 2x4 down and smacks you on the shoulder, and your shoulder just kind of gives in, you sag a little bit on one side.
Why, he still hits me?
Yeah?
Fuck. Alright. 20 damage, you said?
Yeah.
Alright.
Barnaby. Off to one side of you, one of the guys just with his baseball bat just brings it over at you, making a dodge.
Okay.
And in the background, Layla's getting hit with a pipe and she's like, well, that's not the way to hit on a girl.
Oh. Mostly drowned out by the massive dong sound. Dong. I dodge.
Yeah. How much is your armor right now? That's a hit.
Wait, that doesn't seem right. Dodge is Dex Acrobatics, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so that should be +5. So it's only 1 extra, but probably still a hit.
It's still a hit. How much
Yeah.
is your armor?
I've got 2 natural armor.
Two
Is that
natural
2
armor.
points of
Okay.
armor?
Yeah, 2 points of armor.
Right.
So in which case, this baseball bat just comes over at you. It will do, because the baseball bat actually does 3 times. It's a small baseball bat. 3 times that's 50. Armor comes first before the multiplier, I think. No, it comes after this. Okay, so it's 15 plus his 5 successes, 20. You take 18 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Do you get any bonuses for your new form stuff, too?
Yeah, I think it's just the armor for that.
Oh, okay. Just the armor. I want to make sure.
You can also, by the way, there's an ability that isn't on there. I didn't have a chance to update it yet. If you spend a drama point, whenever you're hit, you can instantly retaliate. The other guy,
Yeah.
you can choose to retaliate if you want.
I'll give that a go.
Okay.
I now have 9 drama points. If anyone's interested, I'm just gonna punch him.
You can
Wait.
do the spiky shoulder bash, which does more damage for the same to hit.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Okay.
And that is what to roll?
Because it's you can use sports plus dex.
Sports plus Dex.
The sporty demon.
So that's +6. Ugh.
Yeah, you try and shoulder him as he swings,
Barnaby's
but
episode is
unfortunately
brought to
just,
you
like,
by Ape.
bring your head into the way of the baseball bat, and it clocks you over the back of the head.
I'm not
you
spending
miss.
drama points on that again.
The other guy comes in, swinging from the side. You've got no drama points left, so he automatically hits you. He does... he's just punching you, so it does 8 points of damage reduced, so 13 points of damage as he punches you.
Yeah, change your dice color.
That's a very good idea.
Make it match your hair.
The other 4 vampires in the room who haven't picked a target, 3 of them move towards Barnaby, 1 of them moves towards Layla. And that brings us to Barnaby.
Ooh, okay. I am on a mission right now. I am going to, like, sniff the air. Because I have 1 in Gunfu, I know that guns and gunpowder make you smell a bit weird. So I am going to look for the person or persons who smell like they fired a gun recently.
Okay, so Drox demons have an ability which I didn't write down because I didn't think it would necessarily be relevant. Basically, they're all about the hunt. Drox demons have a very machoistic culture, and they also have fun hunting down people. And I guess considering your form right now, sure, make perception notice check.
Only got 3. But
You don't need that many successes considering your Drox demon. Yeah, you can smell cordite. It's coming from towards the other end where Mr. Miller is standing up on a gantry.
the personal touch, I see. Okay. In that case, I'm surrounded by 2 vampires, yes?
There are 3 coming at you right now as well.
I am just going to use my new ability called Stomp, in which I roll strength times 2, I believe.
I think so, yes.
So that's 14. And I do a stomp that should disable or knock prone anything within a 7-meter radius.
Okay, so you just got extraordinary.
Oh, that's so
6
cool.
successes. So it knocks prone anything within how far?
7 meters.
Okay, so that's the 5 guys who are on you. The one going towards Layla is just at the edge of that as well, I'd say. So it knocks down 6 of them. As you just jump up in the air, you'll bring your hands over your head and then smash your feet and your hands into the ground at the same time. The broken concrete under you just radiates out in a series of cracks as this kind of
How many of them are there?
He would have clicked the 6 as well, so 6 of them.
6 of them, okay.
And they're all knocked to the ground now. Okay. They are all knocked prone. They don't take damage, do they? They just get knocked prone.
I need to double check that. If they fail their dodge, they're knocked, but I can't combine it with any other attack on my turn.
Okay, but you can still move on your turn and stuff as well.
Yes.
Okay.
I am going to stride over towards the gantry that Mr. Miller's on. And just
Okay.
like point at Mr. Miller and go, I smell you.
That's not creepy at all.
Vile being.
Not the most threatening thing, but I like it.
Okay, because the layout is effectively symmetrical, and Layla's currently trying to go up one side and got trapped by 2 vampires, and the other ones came down towards you, at which point you knocked them over. I can say you could go up the right side, at which point there are actually no vampires on that side because they all came down towards you and you knocked them over. So you move up the right side unopposed at this point because all the vampires are knocked prone. Sure. That brings us back to the top of the round, Layla. There are 2 vampires in front of you on the gantry.
Okay.
Well, up on the stairs, up towards the gantry.
And they're knocked. One of them is knocked
No,
prone.
both of those ones are still stationary. Behind you, there are 6 vampires knocked prone. Those are the only other vampires other than Mr. Miller.
Okay. All right.
You're muted if you're speaking, Josh.
I just wanted to thank you, chat. I have regen, which means on this turn, I get about 7 health.
Oh, yeah. That's important.
Sorry, Maggie.
Nice. No, that's good. Your regen is insane. Like, what the hell?
He's a tank!
I know. No, it's awesome. So... Fudge. My one... I can only do one action at a time because last time it didn't go so well. Even that one. I am going to try to stake to the heart again.
Okay, sure.
The same guy that I was going for last time.
Okay.
And I roll a 21, which is better than last time.
That's 6
so that is 6
successes.
successes.
Sure. You do 46 points of damage. Let me have a look at my numbers.
He took 45 last time.
No, he didn't. He only takes it if he goes to 0. Otherwise, he takes just strength plus successes. That only applies if he goes to 0.
Okay.
It's why you're meant to beat vampires up before you stake them, because stake only is a kill shot. It doesn't do damage otherwise. It's kind of a minimal damage ability.
Oh, okay. So I didn't know that. Looks like more groin punching in my
46 points
future.
of damage.
Yeah, you definitely got to go with the groin punch and then the stake.
Yeah. It seems to be my.
This only
thing.
applies if you bring him to 0 health or lower. You bring him to exactly 0 health. So as you just try and this time stab him, he tries to bring his arm up again with the bat just to hit you again. You stab him the same point in the arm, but this time you just push through, and his arm just gets pinned to his chest as the stake just gets driven through into his rib cage, and you just sheer force just push it through. He's like, it just turns into dust. The guy behind him is just like,
She puts that in and she's like, second time's the charm, and shoves it in there. And then she looks at the other guy and she's readying her steak. She's
Okay.
like, are you up next? Ooh, actually, no, that's fine. I was gonna be like,
save it.
who wants to be my dance partner next? Because it's supposed to be a party.
Miller is going to wait. That brings us to vampires. Vampire 1 fighting Layla. He's going to try and grapple you. He's going to try and grapple you and do 2 actions. So his first action is to try and grapple. So, if you want to make a dodge.
Yes, I do. I would love to make. Wait, he's gonna try to grapple me in what?
You wouldn't know necessarily about the second action, but he is taking multiple actions. I'm letting you know because he will be taking negatives on them.
Okay.
Also, technically, depending on the action, if he fails the grapple, he may not be able to.
Oh yeah, no. If he fails an
Yes.
attack, he will instantly fail the next action.
Okay. 14, which is 3 successes.
As you bring the stake back from the first guy, the next guy just runs forwards through the cloud of dust, grabs you, and pins you, spinning you around. Your back is now to his chest. And he pulls your head over to one side, and he sinks his fangs into your neck. His second action is a bite. Which does 19 points of damage.
Jeez, okay. Should take a girl out on a date first.
As
get to
his
the
fangs
stake.
sink into your neck, you can feel the blood pulsing through you. You can feel that heartbeat now in your neck. And it feels painful at the same time as there is this just underlying sense of bliss and calm. And you have to try and just fight to keep your sense in the fight.
Okay.
Now, this brings up an interesting rule, which is that generally people do not get to resist after you are bitten. But heroes can, because they're heroes, make a willpower roll. White hats don't.
I get +1 to willpower. Okay, so what was that? Minus what?
That'll be on your next turn.
Okay. So is that
Seeing
just my will plus my willpower?
yeah, it's just a single willpower roll. It is brutal. You didn't spend a drum point this turn, though, so you can always choose a drum pointer.
Yes.
But that'll be when your next turn comes
I've been
up.
being very careful about the drama points because I need to use them for defense, I think.
The vampires who are knocked prone are all going to get up. Seeing that Layla's kind of taken care of, one of them's going to run up near Layla, but not actually going to get in the way, because obviously, like, his mate's feeding. He's like, just walks up and he's like, "You got this, mate?" And the other one's like, "Yeah, I got this." The other 5 are going to try and chase Barnaby down. So they run up behind Barnaby. Barnaby, however, is now onto the area of the gantry and the stairs. Only 2 can get within range of you. The other 3 are kind of backed up behind in this little conga line leading down the stairs towards the other stairs, which Layla is on. So they're now like all in a very nice row leading up to Layla. That brings us to, because they're not going to take any actions because they already got up. That brings us to Barnaby.
Well, now the interesting thing about being a mega beast is that I have 2 new abilities, which coincidentally includes charge, in which I can successively knocked down opponents in a straight line, and they have, dominoed themselves quite nicely. So I'm going to do that.
You are so sassy right now.
I am barely containing both my excitement and my, I don't know if it's quite anger. It's just...
This is so in character, because I imagine this is exactly how Barnaby is. He's like, oh yeah, I'm just so sassy all the time to stop the rage from coming out. Okay, read us the
always
charge
angry.
ability and then go for it.
Cool. I have no idea how this works, by the way. I can rush up to in a straight line. Dex plus Kung Fu -2 against the first, and then -2 for each subsequent enemy.
Okay.
Cool. I'm going to drum point this then. Anything involving my Dex. Drum.
You can use sports instead of Kung Fu, I would say, because it also is kind of a rugby skill to just charge for a lineup.
Cool. So that is 4, 5, 6, 16 on this particular roll.
Did you... I will say, if you wanted to, you could have spent 2 points to have your rage active. You could be using Righteous Fury all throughout this fight. If you want to use that, I can say you could have activated that out of your turn, because you probably should have activated it at the beginning of the fight. I forgot to mention it.
It's a good point. I'll do that now. I'll spend that now.
Okay. In which
Bringing
case,
me
that's
down
2
to
charm
6.
points for a +5, and you can then spend 1 this turn for a +10 as well.
Cool. So that's plus 21? 10, 5,
yes.
plus 6. 21.
That'll do it.
Yeah, well, if I don't get 21 when my boyfriend dies, then, like, what's the point?
That's what boyfriends are for. Temporary buffs when they die.
Yeah, sure.
24. So the first vamp is a -2, so it's 22. Goes over like a sack of potatoes. Second vamp goes over like a sack of potatoes. Third vamp goes over like a sack of potatoes. At which point, the rest of the vamps stop, and she managed to get out of the way, but you do hit 3 of them. So how much damage does this do?
They get knocked
Lots.
off the side. Because aren't they on like a catwalk?
Normally I'd say no, but he's actually wider.
It's got real big shoulders.
I will say anyone who dodges this who is on the stairs is knocked prone. They're not falling that far because they're on the stairs going up to the catwalk. But I will say that
I thought
anyone
they
who
were
dodges this is knocked prone because they have to jump off the side of the stairs. So yeah, the
Cool.
next 2 are knocked prone. So 3 get damaged and knocked prone. The other 2 just get knocked prone. What's the damage?
So damage is 3 times strength bashing, which is 7, 21.
21, 21, 21.
So, did you just Reinhardt?
Oh, yeah.
pretty
I'm
much.
pinning one.
It's Reinhardt and pinned one in the wall. Yeah.
Smash.
Goddamn Farah! I'm going to take down the
It's Rocket
Hanzo main next. That's
Miller's
Miller.
action is going to trigger now.
I feel like Imogen is Farah. She like gets up in the air and she's like, "Rah."
Right now, yeah. You get a rocket. You get a
Miller
rocket.
has the crossbow and has been aiming it this entire time at Layla.
I've been
What's the
moving
trigger?
around a lot.
The bolt flies forward, so you don't get a defense check because you already used your defense this turn. So that's 5
Can I use the drama
successes.
point?
Doesn't get you extra action, sadly, no. That's 5 successes.
But there's a guy in front of me. Like he's biting my neck. There's a guy in front of me. Wouldn't he hit him first?
I will give you cover for that, so it's a negative to hit. He still hits. That's 5 successes. And
Like he's
crossbow
He's
does
covering
16
me.
points of damage.
How is he even gonna hit me?
He's
That's what I'm
tangentially
wondering.
to you. He's holding you like that, and Miller is over there, so he can still see you from the side.
Right. Sure.
So
If Miller had like stabbed you through the heart, then he could have probably killed the vampire too.
that is true.
Not
I don't
helping
think he
him.
would mind though. Yeah, I should have gone for a headshot or a shot through the heart. Thank you for reminding me, Imogen. I'll do that next time. Layla, you take. This is a crossbow, so it is slashing damage. 16 plus successes, so that's 21. Slashing is doubled. You take 42 points of damage.
I'm almost dead.
How much are you on?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Remember, you can always spend a drama point to half the damage you've taken so far.
I'm like gonna die. Just letting you know.
Are you in negatives yet? Because you need to make a test if you are.
No, I'm not in negatives yet.
Okay. You can spend a drama point at any point to half damage you've taken then.
Yeah, you're trying to get me to spend a drama point, but you're gonna make me make a willpower test next, and I'm gonna die.
Actually, technically, the willpower test will be in your turn, so technically that would be a new turn for you, so you can.
Oh, because this is still another round.
'cause this
Well,
is
yes, then
technically still
I'm
another
spending a drama point right now because I'm like gonna die.
Okay.
So I can have all the damage that I've taken so far.
Yeah,
right?
every single point of damage you can halve. The crossbow like impacts into like your.
Okay.
Like, what are you
Whew.
carrying
Alright,
on
I'm
you?
back.
Hey, it crashes into the side of your blazer, and were you wearing a blazer or not? I think you were. You went out after school, and like it stabs in there really, really deep, until you notice that actually you've just got your second stake in there, and it's just like embedded into the stake.
I can't talk because I'm being. Or can I still talk even though I'm being
Not
eaten?
really, no.
Okay.
Oh, those annoying quips are gone finally.
I know. I have so many like good. I'm on a roll today.
Start
Alright.
writing them out.
That brings us to top of the round, Layla. You can make a.
I die and then I
check.
come back as like a new Slayer.
You can make a willpower check. You get a +10 if you choose to use your drama point. It is a new turn.
Willpower check. Yeah, I'm using a drama point for that.
Imogen?
So that is plus my willpower. So I have Nerves of Steel, which is it's +1 willpower test to resist fear.
It's fear, specifically,
That's
yeah.
fear. Okay. So it's just that. So.
If you've got a +10, you instantly pass it, so you just need to say you're spending a drama point if you do.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
22.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. You know what? You got so many successes. I will say you can also take an action as well as breaking out. So you bring yourself around. You just find that courage within you. You know exactly what's happened. James is dead. Barnaby is nearby and probably needs help. You can't really see behind you right now. Barnaby's fine, but you think Barnaby probably needs help. And you bring yourself around and you're going to shake off. You can now.
No,
choose your
that's
actions
not
as
what
well.
I'm gonna do at all.
Oh.
I will show you what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
He's doing that. I'm gonna punch him in the groin. Damn it!
Okay,
If
sure.
that hit.
Yeah, as
Yes, it does it.
you're still grappled, but as you break out of the reverie and you go and you just punch backwards towards his groin, you miss. You're just too discombobulated. Your mind is just elsewhere. Your head is filled with mist and smoke.
I'm rolling so shitty today. Oh.
So with drama points, from what I'm reading in the rules, spending them for I Think I'm Okay and for heroic feats are two separate things.
Oh,
so
really?
you could do both on the same turn. But you can only do each one once per turn.
Okay.
So I could have spent a drama point to punch him. It's okay.
Unless did you use
I'm not
it-
redact. I'm not gonna redact stuff.
Yeah.
Once I do it, I'm done.
No,
If
you
I roll
already used,
for-
you already
I
used
roll
a
it.
+10 on the willpower roll. You can only do a +10 once per turn.
Yeah.
So
So you can do
wouldn't
+10 once per turn and half your damage once per turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can do
Oh.
+10 and half damage on the same turn. But you can only do, because of our house rule, you can only do half damage once in a combat.
Gotcha.
So that brings us to
Change the dice color.
Miller. Miller, noticing now Barnaby has been causing some real issues, he's going to reload his crossbow, which does count as an action, and he's going to take aim. That brings us to vampires. The vampire is going to re-bite you, Maggie. The description on bite, let me just check it. Must grapple first, you are grappled. No defense action.
Wait, I thought I. Oh no, I
You
was
didn't
only.
break out the grapple, you broke out of the reverie. Effectively, you broke out of the hypnotic
okay.
state. It doesn't count as an action.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought like that you were saying I was no longer grappled.
Oh,
so
sorry,
that's
no.
where I was confused. Because if I had known that, I would have definitely ungrappled
Okay,
and not.
in which
taken
case, that
action.
test would have still failed, though, so
Yeah.
it's fine. You unfortunately, just one of the times you rolled a 1 is just one of the important times.
Yeah.
So he pulls your head back over and sinks his fangs in again, doing 19 points of damage. That brings us to the vamp behind him, who's just like, "Alright, you're definitely busy, mate." He turns around, he sees the devastation of Barnaby just standing there. Like, all of his friends are knocked over. Technically, Barnaby does technically cause fear, and he's very large right now. Considering that, I will make him make a fear check.
You can just hear like stomping in the background, like boom, boom, boom. You will not stop me. Blah, 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 blah.
He's just like a demon, like having like a tantrum back there.
Yeah.
He
Throwing
passes the check.
people, knocking them
Warning.
over, running into them. Like it's a bowling.
He's gonna run
party.
up, and he's gonna attempt to punch you. He just runs up and he goes, "Nah." Make a dodge check.
Okay. God damn these dice.
You take 13 points of damage. Minus 2.
We're having
12,
a rough
11.
day today, Josh. It is not going. It is not going. in
Yeah,
our
I've got to say,
favor.
you've been rolling pretty poorly when it matters.
I'm just gonna start spending drama points. I don't care anymore at this point. Drama
I've got
point
XP to
everything.
burn.
Okay. That brings us to the other vampires who all get up. They're now afraid of Barnaby. So all of them surround you.
me.
All 6 vampires re-surround you, Barnaby. And
Okay.
Mr. Miller's going to take a shot with the crossbow.
At me?
No, at Barnaby. He aimed at Barnaby.
Good job, Barnaby.
You take 21 minus the armor, 19 doubled. You take 38 points of damage. Oh, did you heal
Okay.
yourself 10 points on your turn?
I did not.
Okay, you should do
So
that.
jelly.
So I am now
So just take 28 points of
7
damage.
Yeah.
minus
like-
38.
Take some of his blood and inject it into mine. Can I get that regen? No, I'm just kidding.
Give me Miller's blood.
Are you negative yet?
3. No.
Okay.
Look at that smile. No.
Oh, sorry, wasn't it your turn before that shot? Did I skip your turn accidentally?
I haven't had a turn
Yeah,
so far
it's my
this
fault.
round.
You should have taken a turn before he fired. Not that I think that would have affected the damage, but yeah, sure, you'll go.
Cool. Well, I'm going to use this opportunity to look over at Layla and just see her being eaten.
She's
In-
not that far
in-
away, but you are kind of surrounded by 6 vampires, so...
Cool.
Just having a look see over there, seeing what's going on.
Can I use pyrokinesis as like an area of effect? It's like a single target thing, isn't it?
It is a single target thing. It's... I will say... You could combine pyrokinesis, 'cause it's a different type of attack, with stomp, if you wanted. So you could do both of them. That would be a -2, because it's 2 actions.
Okay, and then I'm going to go over and help Leia. So that's 3 things I want to do.
Well, movement doesn't count as an action. So you could stomp.
But the helping Layla probably counts.
Well, if you throw fire at the guy, that would break him out of the biting, presumably, if you hit.
Yeah, okay.
Stomping them.
Perfect. I'm
Thanks,
going full fire mage. I'm doing throwing the fire at the guy that's jumping on Layla and then exploding the people in my area.
Okay, so that's just a
Because-
standard stomp as your fist on fire, but then you throw the fire. So if you do the stomp first, there'll be a -2 on
Yes.
both.
Cool. Well, I'm going to drama point the one where I throw things at Layla because that
Okay.
might go wrong. It was strength ×2 for this, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so this for area.
And what do they have to make as a roll?
I think. One sec.
Dex
They
like
have-
bugs, isn't it?
Yeah, they make a strength or dex acrobatics dodge test. On a fail, they're not prone.
Okay, let me just check this. None of them are not prone. Their DC is higher than your 15. Their DC is just higher than your 15. Nope. Tell a lie. Tell a lie. They're one lower than your DC. They're all not prone. Does that include the -2 for your multi-action?
No, it doesn't.
In which
So
case it is
that's-
one higher. They're not,
Yeah,
not
it's-
prone. That roller coaster ride of emotion there. You stomp down the ground. They seem
Everyone
to
in
be ready
chat
this
is
time.
shouting Righteous Fury.
Oh,
though.
and then plus
Is that
5 for righteous.
Oh!
My god, the
Forgetting you
numbers!
have Righteous Fury!
Come on, Josh! I can't take
damn
this
it.
emotion!
Ah.
You
I
have
am
plus
not
5 on
thinking.
everything!
I'm not thinking about the numbers. I'm thinking about how to take revenge.
This time, you go up in the air, you bring the fist down again, and there's just this point. This kind of shockwave billows out around you, kind of anime style, and all 6 people around you go in unison. At which point, your flames start licking up your fists. Hi, Dugan! Make the roll.
Kaboom!
Plus
Yeah.
5, -2.
Okay. So this plus 5 -2 plus 10 for the drama point. 21.
That is a hit. That is
And
very
that
much a hit.
does-
That is 6 successes.
No, not willpower. 3 times successes in damage.
18 points of fire damage. Okay, I will say for the purpose of this, it's not in the rules, but since fire damage is something that particularly hurts vampires, he is going to let go of Layla and stop draining her. As his back of his coat sets alight and he has to pat it out.
Oh yeah, plus 5 for righteous fury again.
Didn't you
Oh,
add
no.
that already? I think you added that.
No, the plus 5 is for the actual roll.
Where? Yeah, you have your plus 10 for, and then a plus 5, and then the -2. Where is your stat modifier?
Willpower.
Like
it's-
your whatever is it willpower or are you using?
Oh, so that's plus
strength
3.
or dex?
I don't know if that changes successes,
It
so
does.
it's
It does.
24.
It does.
It's 7.
I am so sorry, everyone.
21 points of damage. FYI,
Sorry,
that's 4
not sorry.
vampires who have taken 21 points of damage exactly currently.
That is awesome, dude.
The back of the vampire billows with flame, and he just lets go of Layla. Layla, you stagger forwards, clutching at your neck, and suddenly
That was
you
lit.
remember vaguely where you are.
Get
Yeah,
out,
I'm
Maggie.
just gonna
Get
shout
out.
Layla.
Sorry.
It was good. You liked it, Lauren.
And then Miller shoots you with the crossbow.
It was lit, right? Chat knows. They agree.
Set you on
Um,
fire.
At which point it gets to the.
Or would you
beginning
rather
of the turn.
be that was hot? I don't know. What, choose.
I mean, he is very attractive.
Bobber, make me a strength plus. Just making the strength roll.
Okay.
Strength acrobatics. No, dex
Oh, this
acrobatics you
party
can
is
choose.
so lit. Ah, that's good.
Like Dex Acrobatics. I'll probably fail. I got an 8.
You can see a warehouse in the distance, and it sounds like there's fighting going on.
I will speed up if at all possible. Probably not.
That is you trying to speed up. You didn't get a success. You would have been there this turn. Layla. Your turn.
Sorry, I'm too busy trying to get the chat to get real hot. Okay. So, let's see.
I'm pretty sure Imogen
I
and
have-
Violet are doing that right now.
It
I
works.
have
Chat
this.
is now on
No,
fire.
wait. It's totally Barnaby right now. This shit is hella lit right now.
Layla B, just saying.
Layla's lit.
All right. So I saw this dude who's been biting me. You know what? I'm really angry. I don't want to use the drama points on kick him in the groin, but I really want to use.
He's also
Ugh.
damaged and you have a stake in your hand. I'm just saying. Now this is the
Yeah.
time you use a stake.
All right.
You can
We're gonna
stake
try
to the
this
groin
again.
if you choose, by the way.
I'm gonna take the stake that was in that Mr.
I'm
Miller.
just saying, you can stake to the groin if you wish.
Oh, really?
That is a
Okay.
thing you can do.
All right, I'm gonna stake to the groin. It says I'm gonna stake to the heart, but I'm gonna stake to the groin.
At which point, 50% of chat goes, ooh!
I'm gonna stake to the
I'll be
groin
real.
with Mr. Miller, the
I
one that
don't
Mr.
want
Miller
to
hit me
stake
with.
in my crotch either.
That is also very true.
Not so uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't think anyone wants a stake anywhere near their crotch.
Yeah, the
Where did
50%
Mr. Miller
isn't-
hit me with the stake?
No. Pardon?
Where did Mr. Miller hit me with the stake?
The crossbow.
The cross. Yeah,
Crossbow
Or
bolt's
was
like
it
in
just-
your chest. Like,
it's
dug
just
into
a
one of your
crossbow
stakes.
bolt. It's
Yeah.
not a stake. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, God damn it. Do I like don't want to drama point this.
Well, chat says to remind Josh about regen.
We already did it because we did
Okay.
minus 38.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
All right, here we go.
Generally.
Come on, surely I've rolled shitty. This should not be. Oh, thank God. Okay, so 19. That is 5 successes.
Afraid that's a hit.
Did you say I'm afraid that's a hit?
Yes.
Ow,
Fucking with
dude.
you. So that does 8 plus your 5. That does 13 points of damage because they're not particularly susceptible to stabbing damage. However, he also has to make a test to not be paralyzed by a stake in his crotch. Which he instantly fails because he doesn't have enough to pass that. So Layla, how can you just describe viscerally how you get the stake lodged in his pelvis?
So he's like biting me? Oh, wait, did I need to
He
make
was
a
biting
willpower
you. He
save?
then like let go as he put out the flames on his back, which kind
Oh,
of leaves
right,
him
right, right.
open at the front to be attacked.
Yeah, so Layla goes down and like stabs him right in the crotch, like with a force up.
Yeah, you kind of like you just fall to the ground on your hands, and you're like, ugh. And you see him like open, and then you just like turn around and just stab outwards, and you're at the right angle. And it just, as he steps forwards to try and deal with you, now to let go, he steps forwards kind of into it, and it just goes and lodges in there. And you can pull it out or you can leave it, whichever you choose.
I'm gonna pull it out and then be like, no means no. Bitch. Yeah, take that. You're like,
Oh,
Snaps
God.
her. Snaps
Pull
her
out
back.
method. I like it.
Oh!
Sorry. Use protection, kids.
A breastplate works equally well.
Not against the crotch, unless he's got a chastity belt going on.
Cod pieces. Cod pieces. Everyone in fencing is, FYI, everyone in fencing is meant to wear a cod piece. No guys in fencing wear cod pieces. It's hilarious.
Real dumb.
Yeah, I know. It's also really painful. One of my friends was nicknamed Oddball after he had a foil whip go between his legs. Because foils are really, really bendy, and they did like a bind of the blades, so the blades were like pushing each other around, etc. And the guy forced his off to the side, and then just whipped back, and it went. And this is like a metal, rod
Yeah.
that's kind of flexible, so it. That really hurts. He was keeled over for about 5 to 10 minutes. Like, just he couldn't talk. So yeah, cod pieces. Not that I actually ever wore mine either.
yeah,
I'm not
easy.
good at it. No. Right, anyway.
You should have just staked the heart.
He can't do anything next turn anyway, it's funny. So,
Yeah, but it's just like,
that brings us to the vampires. He can't do anything. The vampires behind Barnaby... No, they're around Barnaby, because you didn't move, did you? You knocked
He knocked them prone.
Yeah, and then you fire. They get up. One of them is going to take a swing at you with the negatives of multiple actions. So if you can make a acrobatics check.
Okay.
No. You take 15 plus successes, which is Thor minus 2, 3. You take 18 minus 2, 15 including armor, so 16 points of damage in total.
That would take me to -1.
Okay.
can I spend
Not before the test.
Not before the test.
Has to be
Okay.
after the test. You can always draw and put the test if you choose.
Do you have a +5 to the test?
No, only attacks.
Is it only attacks?
You can make a con plus strength roll. I think it's con plus strength, isn't it?
Really?
Let me check.
Perfect.
Look right on the page.
No, willpower plus con.
No, that's only +9.
Then you can't fail the check.
Only.
Oh, I rolled a 1.
Yeah, so it's the check for consciousness is willpower plus constitution minus your current hit points. So your hit point is -1, so you roll 10 minus 1 is 9. You just maintain consciousness.
Cool.
And now you can spend a drama point to half the damage you've taken.
Perfect. Yeah.
At which point,
What's half
it
of
brings it round to your turn. You heal 10 hit points.
47. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's what it is.
So it brings it to your turn. You heal 10 hit points because you regen.
Oh, 10? I thought it was just Constitution.
Oh, constitution, sorry.
Yeah, so it's 7, not 10. Still pretty good, though.
Disappointing.
Yeah. More fire, and I'm going to try and scare the crap out of all of these small vampires because I just want to get to Miller at this point. I'm losing patience. So an intimidation kind of check and
You
fire.
can. They would get bonuses for ganging up on you for intimidation because people are resistant to intimidation in large numbers. And currently there's still like a lot of them around you. So it's up to you if you want to do that. But bear in mind, they will be pretty hard to intimidate.
How
haven't
far
actually
can you
took-
charge?
How far can I charge? 4 meters, I think. It's Dex times 2. So 4
I
meters.
was gonna be like, you could charge to Miller, but that's clearly not happening.
It has to be a straight line
Could
as
you-
well.
Could you charge in a straight line and then run to Miller and just ignore these fuckers?
Probably.
Or knock them down and then go?
I think they get like attacks of opportunity sort of thing, don't they?
No, not unless they're holding them.
Prone.
They are standing up now. They're literally surrounding you. You have to knock them down, and then you can run to Miller if you want. It will take you 2 movements, though.
You have a goal. Trying to help you with your goal.
The thing is, you haven't actually killed that many vampires yet. You've knocked them down, but you've never really followed
Yeah.
up on the knocking down. You and Layla are actually a really good tag team because she can hit them when they're down, but you're still kind of split up.
Yeah, you know what? I really enjoy doing the knocking everyone prone thing, so I'm going to do Stomp again.
Okay.
Which is Strength times
You
2.
also have a ranged fire attack.
I don't want any negatives to this, because, like, it could be pretty rubbish. If I roll a 3, for instance.
Add 5.
And yes, then another 5.
They are all knocked down. They don't take damage on stomp, do they? So they're just knocked down.
No. No,
Okay.
they're just all on the floor.
Yeah, they all go poof, again, and this time you knock them back a little bit as well. Kind of like that animated, like...
Oh no, there's definitely like an AMV of this part of the episode on YouTube where it's just like, let the bodies hit the floor, let the bodies hit the floor.
Yeah, this is definitely the theme of the music. I put like everyone was throwing their music theme, and I definitely threw that in there. I was like, that is what's happening right now. Layla probably has headphones on. She's listening to it.
So what do you want to do after you knock them down? Do you want to move, or are you going to stay still?
Yeah, I'm gonna skedaddle towards Miller.
Okay, so you run up the stairs towards the gantry.
Layla's only being engaged by like one person right now. Right?
One who is actually technically incapacitated
fire?
this turn. Because they've got a stake to the groin that she just pulled out, and like there's blood coming out.
Ooh, I want that.
Shotgun.
Okay, so that brings us to Miller, who sees you coming, is gonna just switch back to his sword. New turn. Rob, you enter through the side door. You can see Layla, a vampire who is bleeding profusely from the groin. 6 of them who are knocked to the ground flat. Miller at the far distance, kind of difficult to see through the chains and the girders, but Barnaby's running up towards him.
So the group
can
of other
roll initiative.
vampires are... Okay, the group of other vampires are relatively close then, and they're away from Layla and Barnaby?
Yeah, they're fairly grouped up and on the floor. If you want, you can spend a jump point on this.
Means I can spend it on other things this turn.
Okay.
Yeah. You're going before me, so. it's fine.
Yeah, technically you go at this. I'll let you go first from the vampires because you're running on fuel of rage and anger. Robert. Okay. That brings us to top of the round, Layla.
Yes.
You,
Okay.
You see Robert walk in, blood covering half his face and a visible gash that's just about healed over from a head wound that you don't remember having when you last departed.
No, but I can put 2 and 2 together. The
He's also carrying something that looks...
guy in front of me
dangerous.
didn't die, right? Like I just staked him to the crotch.
No, he's...
I should have
alive.
just staked him to the heart. I'm wasting my time.
But it was funnier.
For you, maybe. I think you goaded me into it because I love fucking staking people and punching people in the nuts. You know my weakness. Look at him laugh. He knows. So let's see. I am going to stake this guy to the heart and then do what I originally wanted to do, which is climb up the rafter thing.
Okay,
Up the
sure.
things, yeah. So is that 2 act? That's just 1 action. Or
That would be
two
2 actions.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Stake to the heart. Let's see how that goes. I have to do -2, right? Shit.
Yes.
I'm gonna spend a drama point.
Okay.
And that's -2, so 8. I only get 8 out of that bonus instead of 10.
Oh no, it's so terrible.
So 23.
I'm not even going to bother calculating
6,
it. The guy is like clutching his groin, bent over, blood just going through his hands. And you just put the poor guy out of his misery. You just walk forwards and just a short, sharp jab to the sternum, and there's a crack.
Wait, I hit him in the groin, so technically, actually, I shouldn't have had to spend that drama point at all because it's a guaranteed hit.
He skipped his last turn. He now has his turn back again. Because last turn he skipped, because you did that. You
She
remember.
hasn't gone since.
No, yeah, technically you're right. Technically he wouldn't have a defense roll. I'll let you
Yeah, he
take the
wouldn't
drum
get a-
point back.
yeah,
you have
because
the
he's
drum point
like,
back. Because he'll get
Yeah,
back on
because
his
he-
turn, not on this round, yeah. So you know the drum point back.
Exactly.
But yeah, it still happens. He's still there, clutching his groin, blood going
he's
between his
stunned or
fingers.
whatever.
And then you just... turns into dust, collapses to the ground. And then you look up towards the rafters. You can just about reach them this turn. So if you want to try and monkey bars over, that'll be a Dex acrobatics roll.
okay, Dex acrobatics roll. All right. And this is where, no, I don't want to start my drama point. Actually, I'll just Dex acrobatics up there.
Oh.
And that's going to be 18, which is 5 successes.
Okay, you needed anything more than like 2 to stay on the monkey bars. With 5 successes, you jump up, boom, boom, and then you go over like 3 monkey bars really, really quick. You get to the last one, you swing back, you get lots of momentum, and you go into like a full forward 360-degree flip and land right on the gantry next to Miller. You actually get
I want
there
to be
before
behind
Barnaby.
him, which was my goal.
Yeah,
was to
well,
be
he's
behind-
facing towards Barnaby, so technically you will be slightly behind him. Yeah.
Okay.
Rob. Oh, Miller goes first. Actually. Miller, noticing you flip over and land on the gantry behind him, is going to bring his sword around. And he's going to take a swing at you, Layla. You've still got defense action, so if you want to make a defense roll.
Yeah, I want to make a defense roll. All right. 20. That is 5 successes.
Yeah, you do dodge. You dodge to the side, sword. You can feel kind of a slight tug on your hair and the sound of like parting silk as a little bit.
I like to imagine instead of like dodging like that, she grabs the bar back up.
It just does like a pull up and then like does that whole like, thing where you with your abs just bring yourself horizontal. It's really badass, but you do hear a little bit of your hair go.
Is she planking?
Yeah, basically, but like an upside down plank. That would be Robert's go.
Right. Is everyone nice and far away from all these other vampires?
Yeah, pretty much.
A good fair, like, really long distance away from the vampires.
Pretty decent distance.
Okay, then. Right. Seeing this scene unfolding, how far are the vampires from me? They're not too...
I would say with a movement, you could get close enough to toss it and then back up a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, so seeing all this and all these vampires, I imagine they turn around and spot me just stood there in the doorway. I'm like, oh, this was meant for Mr. Miller, but it appears you're in the way, and I will step forward, chuck it, step back again, if possible get round the doorway and hide a bit, and then activate the thing.
Okay, so technically as a spell, it doesn't need to hit roll, it's already used your roll, so you just get close enough and you, and it goes, doom, 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 doom. And the vampire's just as about getting up off the ground, like groggily look over at it, and it's what appears to be like a rocket, taken from a rocket launcher, strapped to what appears to be like some sort of crude firebomb, strapped to a few other parts, and there's like a phone jammed in there, really weirdly. And they look at it like really quizzically, and one of them just walks up to it and picks it up for a second. At which point, you just look around the corner and go, deet. And Layla, Barnaby, you just look over for a second, you're like, what is going on? And then there's just this massive explosion rips through the area. And then a fraction of a second later, as this blast of dirt and bits of concrete shatter outwards, a huge fireball erupts in white-hot flame. Everyone inside it takes, what was it, 30 plus 20?
Yes, it was 30... Let me check what the components were. 30 explosive, 20 fire, ignores armor.
Okay. You can see 3 vampires get up, stagger a bit before they just burn their flesh off their bones, turning to dust. They are all dead. The other 3 are blasted away towards the sides of the room and are very, very injured, but they do just about get up groggily as you see that like huge parts of their faces have just been ripped off and scraped, and some of them have got like chunks of just random debris embedded in them, like bits of concrete. Like one of them's got one of the like baseball bats they're holding like snapped in half and just rammed through his shoulder. And they look over in your direction with a mix of bemusement and alarm.
I step back out holding the railgun.
They're gonna make a fear check. The mundane human makes them make a fear check. If you can make me a willpower plus influence roll, and I'll give you a +3 for the 3 you just dusted.
Oh, if it's roll-based, I'm buggered. Willpower plus influence, did you say?
Yeah, you can choose to use a charm point if you want.
Looks like the party's just getting started.
Yeah, was it willpower plus influence plus 3 or something?
Yeah.
Right, that makes it overall D10 plus 4. So my influence is -2.
Oh yeah, nerd.
And yeah, let's drama point it. 18.
They all look at you. They all look at each other. They all look at the rail rifle. They all look at the ground. They look at each other. And they all leg it. They just make for the exits. Some of them are having to actually try and get past you to exit. You can choose to let them leave if you want, or you can try and shoot at their retreating forms.
I'll let them leave. And like, would I even be able to shoot them at this point? I did a lot of technically.
In another
Separate.
turn, you would. It's more sort of narrative. At this point,
I'm here for Miller.
okay.
I think we all are.
At this point,
Oh
Layla,
yeah, we're all.
you face off against Miller. Barnaby, you walk up behind Miller. Miller looks from one to the other. Knows he's cornered. We're gonna,
We're all three around him.
apart
It's
from
like
Robert,
Bunny Moo.
but yeah,
Bunny Moo.
I'm a while away.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna switch back to the forest nearby, where Imogen is busy casting a spell with Violet. You're muted.
How many minutes has it been?
I would say the chase, getting there, getting back, 16.
Cool. All right. Great. Let's update that number.
Your flesh is beginning to get cracked again. You can see a very faint reddish glow coming out from it.
It doesn't look great. It's not a good look for her.
It's kind of that, like, Commander Shepard choosing the Renegade options in Mass Effect 2.
Yeah, except more like literal, like necrotic flesh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, would you like me to roll my spell casting?
Oh, I would.
Okay. So I'm gonna drama point this. I have my +2 for being full of magic. My willpower is now 5. My occultism is 5, and my sorcery is 2. So,
And you're topless.
and I'm do I get bonus points for being topless?
I mean, Violet might.
Okay.
Surely
So
+2.
that's 10 for willpower plus occultism.
That is the 2. That is the
That's
2.
14. I'm adding 24 to this roll, which means I have already succeeded. Because the power level is 5. But we're rolling anyway. Excellent. How many successes is that? My table doesn't go that far.
Outrageous. 8 successes.
So I have succeeded. The power level was 5. While letting her life force like slowly drain out of her, she's holding the crystal up with her mind, and like next to it the book. And then, just because narratively it seems appropriate, one of the notes that he left strapped to the hands of one of the students is like tucked in it, and it swirls up and then just explodes because she shreds it apart with her brain. Because fuck Miller. I assume the spell succeeds. How long does it take?
The spell definitely succeeds. You see the golem heart in front of you shatter. The wisp comes out. You telekinetically clamp it in your grasp, and it tries to move and just find its way to wherever it naturally wants to go as a bit of soul. And then it just, bit by bit, you tear it apart with a spell, and it disappears. However, from the spell, a small vortex begins out of this black smoke, and out of it, a small white glowing shape. This one much more intact than the one in the golem's heart. This one is like a full, probably like a, maybe like a large fist size with a streak behind it as it moves around. And as you finish casting the spell, it heads off away from you into the night. Meanwhile,
Oh boy.
back at the warehouse, Layla, Barnaby, Robert, you all surround Miller as something just goes through the skylight. A small white speck just hits Miller. But he doesn't seem to take any physical force from it. Like, there is no immediate repercussion other than he just drops the sword that he's holding, which clangs off a bar, hits the ground, and breaks because of the height. And he looks over at Layla, or looking over
Who's
at
holding
Barnaby,
who's holding a stake?
and he just collapses to his knees.
It has Mr. Miller carved into it.
I believe it's Layla's turn.
Oh man, I don't even know what to do. I'm guessing that I would know that the spell went through, that we had discussed.
Imogen, yeah, because Layla and Imogen directly talked about her doing the soul restore, like that. That was how she convinced her to not be sadistic the first time.
Yeah.
So Layla would know that Imogen can do the spell. She doesn't
Know that
know
she went to do it now, and that she got it finished. I'd say make a perception plus occult.
Perception plus
She-
occult.
because she's my
4
friend.
plus
A bonus for friendship.
for friendship.
I don't know right now if you're really running on friendship as a theme.
I'm gonna spend a drama point.
Okay, if you spend a drama point, you automatically succeed.
Yeah. Okay, I automatically succeed.
So with that, I mean, it's also
I
drama
rolled
point
a
you can
1.
spend to be a plot point, so I'll let it be like you notice something in his eyes change. Like there's something in the back of his eyes that goes from being that black hollow of someone who doesn't care or finds their actions amusing to someone who is just mortally horrified. Like you just notice he has like the 1,000-mile stare.
He's still wearing the armor, right?
Yeah.
I drop the stake and I'm just gonna like punch him like 3 times in the armor.
Okay, make 3 attack rolls at a -4 each.
Okay, so I don't have like just a punch. What is the punch?
It's just Dex plus Kung Fu.
Kung Fu.
Dex plus Kung Fu. Okay.
-4 on each.
-4, so it's a plus 11 for each. So that's the first one. Does that hit?
He's not resisting. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Jesus. Does that include the -4? Wait, you rolled 4
Yeah.
times. You only rolled 3, right? You said you're doing 3 punches?
Oh, so yeah, whatever. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, you
Just
got
keep going.
5 successes, 6 successes, and
Just keep going,
3
is that what you said?
successes.
Yeah, basically she's just angry. She knows what happened. She drops the stake and she's like just punching him in the chest. And while she's punching him in the chest, she's like just rambling about like what happened? Why did you do this? You know, like how could you have done that? And so on and so forth.
Barnaby's
Okay.
standing next to her and is just like, the quarry is cornered. No tricks, no games. End it. Pick your stake up.
It's like Mortal Kombat. Finish him.
Finish him.
Yeah.
I think James did that to Barnaby plenty.
The question is could Barnaby reciprocate?
I'm just busy trying to innuendo and also figure out damage here. It's very tough. Okay, he takes 26 points of damage after armor. So, yeah, no. You just wail on him and making sure you're hitting the breastplate, but even then, the breastplate is it's bending inwards. Just huge chunks of it are just bending and in some places cracking just under the sheer force of your fists. Your fists, I would say, would normally take a bit of damage for this, but because you're running on Fury, I will waive it in this case because your fists are, for aesthetic purposes, very bloody now. That is metal you're hitting.
Yeah.
That makes it Rob's go.
Bloody, you say.
So weird.
Has Imogen ever, in Robert's presence, mentioned the resouling of a vampire?
Not explicitly. I think the only person I know she's talked about it explicitly with would have been Layla. But I feel
Yeah.
like she would have divulged some of it to others. Probably not the entire extent of her plan, which also involved summoning the souls of the dead to punish him. I would say
Yeah,
Barnaby probably wouldn't remember, but I feel like Robert would have some.
if he'd
inkling.
ever mentioned it, then he'd remember.
You can make perception plus notice check. I think it'd be higher for you to be able to just notice the fact that something has changed on that gantry. You can certainly see that Layla has just not gone for the kill shot of the stake. They've got him cornered, but Layla isn't deliberately trying to gang up on him. She's deliberately punching the metal chest plate. Like, there's something obviously from your angle that is different there.
All right, I'll take that. I fail.
Yeah, no, you're not sure what's going on up there. Maybe he just got knocked to the ground or something, but
So I just marched towards, railgun raised, pointed at his head.
Okay, so you're going to take a shot at the end of the turn because you're doing a perception.
Is the notice that bad that I'm just like not?
Yeah. As far as you're like, this is still combat time. Like things
Alright,
are happening
yep.
quickly. You may have missed that white light coming in as well. So
Aiming to fire. This is
Okay.
Sky Iron, but whatever. It's still a high velocity projectile.
are you doing a headshot or just a general shot?
Headshot. I know he has the armor.
Okay.
I would aim for the head.
Yeah, he did say he was aiming for the head, so.
That makes it Barnaby's turn.
I'm not gonna burn Mr. Miller alive with Layla on top of him. But
Technically, she's not on top of him. She's in front of him. And your fire is
I
single
thought he
target.
fell to the floor or something.
He's
Yeah, he went to
kneeling. Yeah.
Yeah, he's kneeling on the floor.
Yeah, in that case, I'm going to ignite my fists and tell Layla to move.
Nice.
And if she moves, then
Layla, this huge form of Barnaby in his new form is ginormous. It is about like 8 foot tall, nearly that much wide. His fists flame up. This point, not just a fist, almost flaming straight to the elbow. He is a sort of dark basalt, like black, with small rivulets of like red running through him. And as he talks, you can see the mouth is almost like looking into a furnace as he commands you to move.
Layla, and this is what causes Layla to stop punching him, actually. And Layla turns around and she just stands up and turns around. And she looks at Barnaby and she looks at Rob. Then there's no, like, all the other vampires are all dead, right? Pretty much.
I'll run off, yeah.
Yeah, or run off. He has his soul back.
and
She kind of like pauses and
Do I hear? Am I close enough?
she like has
Not
her
that close.
hands to her
And
side.
And she did
in
say
a-
it pretty
in-
quietly. I would say make a perception notice check, but it won't be just a pass or fail. You'll need 3 successes. Because she's away in the warehouse and she's saying it quietly. This is an important moment for her. She's not just
Yeah, but
shouting it
he's
over you.
on the he's kneeling. And Rob's like that way, right? Like
Rob's pretty far away. Rob, you did get 3 successes though. So you hear just about Layla say as it echoes round, he has his soul back.
and then I pause and I'm like, I don't know if it's punishment enough. And I just kind of look at
Can I change my action now then, based on that?
We're in narrative time, so yes.
I just look at
Yeah, I stop and go
Barnaby.
too quick and lower the gun.
Barnaby raises his flaming fists and brings them down upon Mr. Miller.
But before he does that, I guess I'm gonna stop him.
Okay, well you can try and stop him after the break.
Okay. Oh shit. Okay.
Also, I definitely want to go back and visit Imogen because I think she's got something else planned.
Ooh.
Oh, I can't do that other spell because I literally don't have enough people for it.
He's not a vampire anymore, right?
What is the sorcery? What's the power level of that spell?
I don't know. You didn't give me a power level.
I think the power level is actually fairly low. My general rule is that you can modify spells provided the spell's power level is lower than your sorcery.
So she actually this is gonna be really awkward because she's still topless. I think right now that seemed like her thought process is she wants to get to her friends more than she wants to try and make that ritual happen because she's real mad at Violet. So she doesn't want to work with her anymore. There was a teleportation spell. I'm just going to say that loud enough, but I don't know it. So I think that's what she would probably like to do before she tries to raise the souls of the dead, because she's no longer running on the same sadistic that she was before. This is about blood, so she wants to make him bleed. Like, if she's gonna do it, she wants to be the one to kill him.
Well, we'll come back to that after the break then, because I need to go through a few of your rules then and just double check what your rules about vengeance are. So we're going to go for a short break. We'll see if Mr. Miller lives. I don't know if the chance is this high. I don't know. Should we go for like a poll in chat during the break and see who, like, if people are going to bet, is Miller going to live? Is Miller going to die?
Ooh, yeah. Definitely do a move up poll.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan.
Let's get that going, mods.
Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back in 8 minutes, so do stay tuned. We'll have some fan up in the break, and then we'll see how much people have dropped in the moral rankings.
Speaking of fan art, oh my gosh, that Imogen fan art is so good.
Oh, it's so
It's so good.
Got made posted during the episode.
Where's that? I haven't seen it.
It's in our
Twitter. I
lot of
retweeted it.
places.
And it's also
Everywhere.
in our
We literally
admin
put
chat.
it everywhere.
Oh my god! That is
It's really
amazing.
good.
Okay.
Makes me very happy.
We'll be back in a few minutes' time with the continuation of Layla the Vampire Slayer. If I have my USB on the right computer.
Do you?
Praise USB.
close
Oh, no.
close the curtain. Close the curtain. We'll bring it back up.
Hello. Welcome back to Roll4It. Layla the Vampire Slayer, Buffy the Vampire Slayer RPG, where stuff is going down. So, our team found out that someone was draining the brains of people at the school. It turned out to be Pennymoo, the fallen angel, who is currently pretending to be Mr. Penrose, their librarian. In the meantime, Barnaby ended up in a relationship with James, someone who'd had their brains drained by said fallen angel. They managed to eventually defeat the fallen angel with the help of James and a golem. However, the golem was incapacitated in the fight, and after the fight, James got his brains back. They went back to the party in the girls' dorm to celebrate. Layla went to punch some vampires because she was annoyed. Imogen went to the shower because she was covered in blood for other reasons. However, then their former watcher/biology teacher, Mr. Miller, opened fire with a rifle, killing James, knocking Robert out. Barnaby went demon form, as he's actually a demon, and chased down Mr. Miller. Layla went to chase down Mr. Miller as well as she saw the gunfire in the distance. Imogen managed to heal Robert back to consciousness and then went off to do vengeance in the night. Violet, an ex-demon, now human, went off with Imogen to help. Robert grabbed his kit and proceeded to follow Layla and Barnaby. They managed to get to a warehouse. Layla and Barnaby took out most of the vampires or knocked them unconscious, went to corner Mr. Miller. Robert joined the three just in time to chuck a bomb which killed 3 vampires and scared the other 3 off. And they cornered Mr. Miller. However, outside, Imogen and Violet had been chanting and doing a spell to restore Mr. Miller's soul. They managed to succeed, and destroying the heart of the golem, which they used as part of the spell, they managed to summon Mr. Miller's soul, and it flew off and reinserted itself into Mr. Miller. Layla, Robert, Barnaby had a chat about what to do. Barnaby went, I'm going to hit him anyway, and was about to bring his fist down. And that's where we cut for a break. So, going
And
back...
Layla was stopping him.
And Layla said she was going to try and stop him. So coming back from the break, we're going to be with Imogen and Violet. Imogen, do you think your vengeance is over?
You're muted.
You're muted right now.
I didn't say anything profound. She doesn't
Okay.
know that he is suffering, and it's one of those, she wants to see his face. Like, right now, she wants to see him cry and kind of beg for mercy before being murdered, and feel the weight of everything that he has done.
Okay.
Whether or not
Fair
you'll
enough.
let her rationally understand that the other spell will mean that the dead form of James is also ripping his body apart, if she knows that, she will not do that spell.
I don't think that's something that would be the immediacy coming to your mind, because it's something that's only recently happened. You probably haven't internalized it yet. That's something you'd have to internalize. You'd also know that the spell you'd be casting for the Summon the Dead would take time, because the dead would literally have to get out of their graves and walk there, because they're not particularly fast. So you would have time to get to him. It's down to you whether you want to try and get out the vengeance or not.
I think she wants to get to him sooner,
Okay.
given the choice. But I don't know if
Does she even know where he is?
She knows. No.
Imogen doesn't know where he is.
But she wants, with the power of friendship, to get to her friends.
Okay. So,
You can do a locate spell or something?
There are spells that allow you to locate people. There is technically a teleportation spell. She doesn't know any of those.
Yeah.
So
do you verbalize
We
this
know.
to
Localization.
Violet?
So the spell, like, casts, the spirit flies off, and she just sort of takes a moment, and she's like, fucking A.
You're amazing.
Thank you.
I mean, the spell wasn't bad either.
Okay, you need... Seriously. Give me your fucking shirt.
She's actually, like, still wearing a blazer over the top of her shirt, and she's...
Give me bloody blazer.
She hands you the blazer. I've been tempted to do this all along. I was like, no, Imogen's been way too intimidating to hand a blazer to.
Thank you. Now you can stop that line of conversation. God, I wish I knew where he was. I kind of just want to stab him in the face a bit now. Maybe watch Barnaby do it. I think Barnaby's probably going to set him on fire.
What about the other spell you were telling me about? I can
Well, unless
find
you
him.
feel like crying and have a third person around here, I don't exactly have a lot of options.
As you say that, you can see the spell in your mind, and you know that you could probably alter certain elements to within your sorcery level. You think you could overcome some of those boundaries. Would increase the power level. It's not a particularly high power level spell. In fact, it actually worked out 0, so I had to modify it.
Really?
Yeah, no, actually, the spell it came out when I calculated it as 0. I was like, this is stupid. No, this spell is not 0 power levels.
Their power level calculations are so weird, and they don't seem to match up with the spells that they write.
It's okay. Everyone's over 9,000 at this point. I think everyone has gone Super Saiyan except for maybe Layla.
And Mr. Miller.
No, he already went Super Saiyan. Now he's drained.
As you say that, she looks at you and is like, well, if you were to do the other spell, I could probably cast a locate spell. It's not that hard. We could probably get there in time to watch the show.
I don't know what I want. How do you do this?
I mean, we signed a contract and
No,
the wage is
but
pretty
you used
good.
to be a person before that. How do you do this?
That was a long time ago. I mean, we didn't have lasers and fancy schools back then, so...
And so that made it easier to be vengeful all the time.
It's
Did you
hard to
really hate
remember.
everything that much?
Some things deserve it.
How do you know that?
Sometimes it just feels right.
It doesn't, though. I need to know why he did it. I can't. That's not what any of them would want. The dead need to stay dead.
Okay, make a willpower not doubled, no drama point test allowed.
Good thing I bumped my willpower. 2 successes!
Running on pure vengeance, you slowly burn out until you can shake the power to fulfill it. You may choose to make a willpower test not doubled test when you have suitably fulfilled your vengeance. If you pass the test, you revert to normal. However, negative traits you have received can linger. So with that...
Also, technically, if I fail, I can make myself go unconscious instead.
And explode.
Yep. That's the other option that you gave me.
As
Yep.
you do.
So
I'll
with
let
that...
you decide
as you
whether or not I
remember,
pass. Before I
Even
tell
with
you
bad
what
luck,
I
I can't make you fail. I can bring it down to
Okay.
10. I was hoping you were going to roll like a 5 or something. I could bad luck it down, but... as you remember your friends, as you remember how important they are to you, and the fact that more important than vengeance is actually protecting them, and you realize that they have gone off to fight a pretty powerful entity in the night, someone who's always had plans when it comes to fighting you guys, you realize that maybe they're more important than just your personal emotion for vengeance, and that power inside you, that little well that's just giving you magic constantly, closes. You drop to the ground. You don't even realize you've been levitating all this time. The magic around you just...
slip on the mud, land on her ass.
Yeah, it's really, really, like, not that elegant.
Not
The
at
magic
all.
around you just fades, and all your, like, cracked cheeks and damaged skin just begins to, like, slightly ooze blood in places as your wounds actually take effect.
Fuck. Oh, that hurts. Well, I need a nap. Oh, shit. She just, like, lies on the ground in the mud and just string of profanity. Like, I can't do anything anymore.
Here's a thought. In the warehouse, does Rob suddenly feel a lot more tired?
We'll get to the warehouse in a minute.
I know, I'm excited too. I have so many things.
Yeah, so she can't really do anything, so she's pretty much gonna lie on the ground and cry a little bit.
Making a willpower plus influence roll.
That's still 4.
Oh, you can't fail. Oh yeah, because of your willpower.
Yeah, I bumped my willpower up. I'm good at 2 things: magic and lying. Or sorry, emotional manipulation.
Wait, even if you give her,
He already
no,
spent my.
it'd still be 1. Oh,
I
you
guess.
No, I haven't
did-
spent the bad luck. No.
the bad luck. Yeah, it would still be.
I
just
could
1.
bad luck that, but I'm not gonna. It's not that important. I want to save the bad luck for something important, like failing to realize that you're gonna bring back the dead and cause lots of harm. That's always fun. So with that, Violet looks down at you, and she seems to have a moment where she lets some sort of emotion. Maybe it's just pity, or maybe it's some sort of empathy. You're not sure. She kneels on the ground next to you and just puts her hand on your hand and just kneels there with you.
Pat, pat, pat.
As the
If he
rain
hurt
just...
me, I will stab you. Is what she says as she's lying in the mud.
That sounds very fair. And she just like adjusts your blazer slightly so it is actually properly covering you.
Oh, that's actually kind of sweet.
And in the rain, as you're
It's
slowly
not because that. It's not sweet. It's because it's distracting her.
it's distracting her. She needs to be like emotionally
Fair.
like cold and cut off, and you're ruining that. And so as you lie there in the rain with Violet getting sodden, your back and hair covered in mud, the torn open form of the golem next to you, a dead tree and dead patches of grass, a sheep at the edge of the forest watches you from a distance. Bah.
Dude, someone please make fan art of the sheep.
Voyeur sheep.
It's just a sheep. Oh.
It's solid sheep.
The sheep that has been saved.
The sheep that lived. It's got like a lightning bolt scar.
Oh.
We're gonna jump back.
That sheep has seen some shit, let's just say.
I think the
Literally-
frog has seen worse.
Oh, no, I mean, if you take into, like, Monster Hearts, the sheep in the Monster Hearts, the little throw
True.
to it. Oh my gosh.
Oh, so its friends get consumed by
Yeah.
giant spiders. That's true.
So jumping back to the warehouse.
I want to do 2 things. I want to stop Barnaby, but then there's something else I want
Barnaby,
to do.
roll your attack.
Okay. It's
Layla,
not
you can
great.
try and you can choose to get in the way of it, or you can choose to try and like parry it.
Yeah, I want to, like, strength stop him, and then I want to do something else after.
That'd be more parry. It still relies on using dex. I did check the rules. It'd be a dex plus kung fu. I will say because you're trying to block someone else's blow against someone else, it's kind of more awkward. There'll be like a -3 on that. You should still
I don't
pass a
think
flank
it
rolls.
matters.
It probably doesn't matter.
I rolled a 7.
12. Okay, we'll see what I roll.
With your +5, I don't
I
know
rolled
if
a
you're righteous
16.
fury.
We'll see what I roll.
I rolled 4 successes. So I'm going to stop him. I see him go for this, right? And I'm going to stop him, and I'd be like, no, let me. And I'm going to finish him. I want to kill Mr. Miller.
When you
Because when I
stop
said
me,
what Layla said before was that she's like, I don't know if it's enough. And then Barnaby made that decision for her. But she doesn't want Barnaby to live with the guilt of having killed him. She wants to do it. Just letting you guys know internally what Layla's thinking.
So, Barnaby, as you bring your fist down, Layla kind of grabs your fist, and your strength pushes through, but by that point, you just smash them off to the side and rip out
And
a
I'm
chunk of
spending a
railing,
drama
which goes
point
ping.
to hit him.
Okay, Layla, you turn back around, you see Mr. Miller just looking, like, at the ground, not even really paying attention to you, just kind of staring at his hands that slightly shake.
And that's Dex plus Kung Fu.
What attack you doing?
Punch.
Dex plus Kung Fu?
All right. Plus my 10 for... And... 26.
Yeah, that's a hit. That does strength double.
I don't know how many successes that is.
I will check. So that the 16 plus. your
Also, I want to
successes-
mention that the chat voted. And the vote poll came out. Severe results: 51% spare, 44% kill, and 6% invalid votes.
People can't spell spare.
Apparently.
He takes 21 points of damage, and I will say for the purposes of this, because he isn't really keeping his balance, he is knocked off the gantry and takes full damage as well. So he takes a whole load of damage and collapses onto the ground below you guys. Rob, you see this.
Oh, never mind. And I guess I'm like, I imagine that the railgun goes on the back because that's cooler, and I put the railgun on my back and walk towards the other two. How am I feeling?
You're feeling a little bit dizzy. You just put your hand to your head, you bring it back, and there's blood on it.
I was like, oh, still, it's been, and I'm stumbling a bit as I walk. I catch
Shot
myself.
in the head!
Rob,
Yeah, you got shot in the head,
There,
dude.
like, I think
Can you even see out of his one eye?
injuries are catching up with me.
Rob, you lose a hit point.
Oh, jeez. Uh-oh.
How much of Bobbert is left?
I'm alright for a bit.
You
A
lose
bit.
another hit point.
Okay, that's pretty, yeah, okay, I go to one knee and I'm like,
You lose another hit point.
Is my back to him?
Why was my healing not permanent?
Wait, is my back to him?
Whoops.
You'd hear him fall to the ground, like he's not doing it subtly, he's kind of doing it under pain and duress, so you'd hear him, and you look over and you notice that there's blood just running down the side of his face.
Yeah, so I do my punch and then I hear Rob and I'm like, Rob? And I'm gonna run over to him.
Okay, by the time you get to him, Rob, you've taken 10 more damage.
10 more damage, okay, I'm at -2.
Okay. We'll let you make a
Sorry.
consciousness check in a bit, not quite yet.
Can I do anything to help him?
What medicine you got?
Nothing.
Blaster.
He has blood on his head.
Layla is
Like
like,
this.
I guess Layla's like holding Rob at this point, I think. If you're letting me run over to him.
Fan out of that.
And she's looking up over at Barnaby and she's like, what we need to do something. We need to call for help.
Barnaby
Hospital
ignores
would be
you.
nice.
Can I carry him and run him to the hospital or something? Or
Yeah, you grab him and you're going to start running in the direction of a phone box or a hospital or something.
yeah.
Like, I did have a phone, but yeah.
At that point, you go to -9 and you need to make me a consciousness check, which you can't pass, so you fail and you go
All right.
unconscious.
Wait, you had a phone? Is that what you said?
He says, I had a phone, but it was in the box.
Oh yeah, the phone. Yeah.
Yeah, you're back at -9 and unconscious again. Barnaby, you don't hear any of this. You look down from the gantry, and below you is sprawled form of Mr. Miller. As far as you could tell, not moving, but you get the sense that he's still alive. Vampires can survive a lot.
Do you not have any drama points, Bentham?
Yeah, I've got some.
You could spend that to like half your damage that you've taken, right?
Would that apply? Because this is damage I'm regaining from previously. Though I didn't use it at the time, did I?
Technically, you didn't spend it previously. You could spend it now, but you would already have failed the unconsciousness roll, so you'd be already unconscious. Because you did make that roll previously. The roll reapplies now.
I guess I'll do that then. In total, I've taken 35 damage.
How many bobberts?
It's like a
More
bubbard
than
and a
bobbert.
half.
Yeah. So I can cancel, I guess, 17 of that.
I mean, he's not technically making survival tests yet.
I'd say make it 18. You can round up.
Okay. In that case, I'm now at 9.
Okay. Like, you look down
I
at
don't know.
Bobbert, and he's still vaguely responding. Like, he's passed out. He's not, like, fully, like, properly gone, just out of it. But
I just like that the last thing he said was like, I had a phone. And then he like passes out.
No, yeah, you can have a trauma point for that, Bentham.
And I actually like, for a second there, I'm like patting him to see if he has a phone, but then I'm like, okay,
Well,
I
let's
guess he
get
does.
back to Barnaby.
So Barnaby's on the gantry, and he sees Miller sprawled on the floor. Barnaby jumps off of the gantry onto where Mr. Miller is lying. And he... How big is Barnaby's hand?
Bit bigger than, like, a baseball catcher's mitt.
Are you gonna crush his face in like Game of Thrones style?
No, he's going to ignite his fist while he does it.
Ah. Effective.
I'm going to pick up Mr.
Mr. Miller is dead.
No, he isn't.
by
Okay.
the scruff
Okay.
and just, like, shake the corpse, reanimated. You took something from me.
You notice as you shake him, he is not dead. Like, Layla punched him and he took 4 damage, but vampires don't tend to die from bludgeoning. And he's actually not
He's
that
taking the
negative.
heart. Okay.
He's pretty hurt, but he's not gone yet. As you shake him, his eyes just come into contact with yours as they just get shaken back and forth. And at that point, he does just lock eyes with you for a moment, and then he just looks away.
Oh, I would have known that he wasn't dead then. Because I'm...
I assumed you were just trying to do that.
No,
like,
I
you
said I want to kill him. I
Okay.
said that. I literally said that.
I was,
I said I want-
I was confused. I wonder if it was like some sort of in-character thing you were trying to leave him alive.
No, I said
Okay.
specifically, I was like, no, let me do it. So I would have staked him instead.
Well, my guess then is that you would have gotten and finished him off then, but Robert going down probably.
No, I
more
wanted to
important you.
I wanted to kill him and then go look at Robert.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to do.
Don't mind me, just busy dying over here.
Yeah.
I guess for whatever reason, because I can't really go back that far. Robert
I
distracted you for a
specifically
moment.
said that though. I was like, no,
Yeah,
let me
I just assumed because
complete it.
you would have known about the stake. I just assumed that for some reason.
No, I'm derping. I'm sorry. I'm forgetting a lot of things today. My mind is somewhere else.
It's okay. I understand that feeling. He looks at you, Barnaby. I remember everything.
That sucks. I'm pissed off now. That like, personally, I'm pissed off. Like, really mad right now. Because like that was not what I wanted to do at all. I wanted to kill him. So
Yeah, I just set him aflame, and like, I will see everything you are undone, and just like spread flame across him.
Okay.
So he's double dead now.
Layla, yeah,
Yeah.
you would
It's like
hear
a-
in the background as flames start to lick up. You would suddenly
I
realize,
guess I do that
yes.
to his ashes after Layla staked him.
Well, if you want to go back, we can go back, but I was afraid to go back that far in narrative time. If you guys really want to, we can go back.
no, I mean like I'm mad at myself then for just forgetting. Because like I wanted to be the one to kill Mr. Miller.
I just
think we
burn
all-
I burn the ashes in that case.
Okay. In which case, we can go back a few minutes in narrative time if you both feel you want to, because this is important for both your characters.
Well, I didn't want like my specific thing was like I didn't want Barnaby to have to live with killing him type of thing. Like, that was definitely him.
Let's just go back.
That's
It's
Yeah,
okay.
we'll retcon it.
Okay.
We can retcon and go back.
So you're on the gantry, Layla. Instead of punching him, do you want to stake to the chest?
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to spend my drama point, even though
Okay.
like it should be just an easy kill.
In which case, that is knowing your strength, knowing the fact that
I rolled a 26.
he's not defending like either side. So he's not facing you. You can choose to do it through the back, which would ignore the breastplate. That does plenty of damage. Barnaby,
You gave me a -2, right, or something to the
Nope.
roll.
I think you rolled like 23 or something.
26.
26 because I had a plus
26.
25 to it. So
With that-
if there's a negative,
doesn't matter. With that,
Yeah.
you drive the stake through his back. Barnaby, you look down, your flames like just licking up your fists. I will need you to make a... It will need to be a willpower roll, Barnaby. Not doubled, no drum point allowed.
Cool.
I'm just sinking to the ground off to the side, going, "Don't let me interrupt."
Okay, in which case you can let Layla finish the kill for you. Otherwise, your want to finish the kill yourself would override. And
In that case, what happens is, obviously Layla gets the kill, but like, I'm angrily shouting like, "Slayer, don't take this from me!" But then, like, it's already too late.
the stake is driven into his heart from the back. You hear the sound of a spine and a rib cracking. It's driven forwards, and then the breastplate just goes tink, and a small push mark appears where it seems to have been driven through.
Oh,
And
okay. I was like, what?
he seems to visibly like nod before he turns to dust, which just blows away in the wind through the warehouse.
And then I immediately turn around and I want to go grab Rob. You
Okay.
basically say what I said. Like,
You
I wanted
grab
everything.
him and you start running out the building. Barnaby, you're left there just staring at the pile of dust as it slowly just drifts away.
Barnaby can't do or say anything at that point.
Burn the building down.
Make,
Could burn the
Arson
building
makes
down.
everyone feel better.
make a willpower check to revert to your normal form.
Okay.
Not doubled. No drama point.
Bonuses. One success. Uno.
And with that, you shrink back to your human form. You've had long enough that you'd be at full HP when you get to human form because you'd have reverted it, regened it all in your normal form.
Sweet. Thank God
And
for
you
that.
collapse
Otherwise,
to
I
the
would have just
gantry.
crumpled to the floor.
Feeling tired, feeling drained.
Important question. Is he clothed?
He is clothed. His form actually includes clothes.
Clothing.
Sorry,
Okay.
it's just you that's naked.
Damn it. Guys, not be alone in this.
Why are you guys viewing it as Layla stole that from him? I guess kind of, to some extent. But in Layla's mind, it's she doesn't want him to live with having to have killed somebody.
Something you're
Because
gonna have to talk about.
yeah,
I will now need to hand out some drawbacks and personal crises. So this is the moment where I get to go. Layla, you get the drawback guilt. You killed a man.
but I've killed lots of people. He was a
Yeah.
vampire. I'm a
He
vampire.
was a human
slayer.
soul that just happened to be in a vampire's body.
Okay, I feel 0% guilt. I'm just letting you know. Like Layla feels 0% guilt for killing him. So I don't know why that would be. I don't know. I think I would feel more guilt about the people that were affected by Pennymoo and are still stuck in their mind state, like from a perspective of like my character. Just
Okay, but he's still a human person, just happens to be in a vampire body. Like, for instance, Barnaby is just a demon in a demon's body, but he's a perfectly normal person, nice to talk to. Apart from when he tries to murder everyone, if he goes horrible form, which he rolled pretty well on.
he deserved it.
Imogen, you drained some grass and a tree, right?
Yep. Do I need to photosynthesize now?
So you get one drawback for the tree and one for the grass. The drawback you get from the tree is...
I'm running out of space on drawbacks.
Yeah, it's great.
I have a lot of them.
uncaring. And this is specifically uncaring as in you can sit there and you can watch knowing that you can watch mortals as they just walk past, as they end up in trouble, knowing that your magic is strong, you're a pretty intelligent person, you can protect yourself, but everyone else nearby, they're just people. They just go around their stuff. Things happen to them.
Kind of hoping you'd go for tree hugger.
Grass? Oh god. What?
I got 1 hit point from the grass.
Yeah, I would say actually you only got 1 hit point from the grass. You only did train properly.
And that one
tree.
I didn't ask to do. You were like, that is
Yeah,
a side effect
that's
if you
fair.
kept.
So you get one from the tree. Also, it's not a drawback per se, but just note that your want for vengeance is certainly stronger than it used to be. If someone slights you, you feel you want to make amends. It's not necessarily a drawback as such, but bear in mind that does tickle at the back of your mind.
Am I still sadistic?
Yeah, that's a completely separate one. That's from the book.
Cool. Good.
Drawbacks. That's good. Personal crises. Everybody gets a crisis for different reasons. I'm pretty sure that most of them are really, really obvious. Layla gets a crisis because she couldn't save James, her friend, and she couldn't save the people affected by Pennymoo. Imogen gets a crisis because James died and she wasn't able to protect him. Barnaby, you get a crisis because by having your boyfriend so close and by entering in a relationship with him, a person who is completely mortal and mundane, not even like Robert, able to do super science. You put him in the line of fire. Whether or not that's your fault, or whether or not he accepts the consequences, that's what tickles at the back of your mind. Robert, your personal crisis. Out of all your friends, you are the most mundane. And even then, you couldn't do anything. You feel impotent.
I thought mine was going to be, my gun killed James.
Also, your gun killed James. But that's a fairly minor part compared to the fact that you were unable to do anything when James got shot and you went down as well, where all your friends were off doing superpowered stuff. Layla's a slayer, Imogen's a super powerful witch who went uber form and floated out of there. Barnaby went crazy demon and smashed out the wall, and you had to run on foot, and you couldn't protect James.
Bombed a bunch of vampires, though.
You did, that was pretty fun. I'm going to say for the purpose of this, we're going to time skip forwards a little bit. The police are just like, oh, something weird happened and someone just did some shooting. It's terrible. But they're not sure exactly what happened. They found a warehouse with a suspicious bomb. Pardon?
Is it confirmed that James is dead?
Yes. You might have to explain to his parents what your relationship is with James and why you should be involved with his death and the funeral and stuff, if you want. But yes, it is confirmed that he's dead, and he is added to the Monday list of people who have died recently at the school.
Am I in the hospital for a bit?
You are in the hospital for a bit. How much is your constitution?
It is 2.
How much hit points are you missing?
I am missing 17.
You're in the hospital for, I would say, like 5 days, and then a week of rest at home will get you back to health. So you miss a week of school as you're back on the Friday night, and then a week later you'll be at full health.
I imagine that every day, Imogen is bringing him the homework, mostly for her own.
Too.
Like, for that.
I want to point out I have 9 hit points.
Yeah, that sounds very
Imogen
similar.
will
You're
take
both
longer to heal than
We're in the
Bummer.
exact same boat.
you were both in the hospital in opposite
She is-
wings.
Constantly asking him to get the homework from people because he has a computer.
And-
She comes out every time they let her out of room. She's like, I need my homework. I need my homework.
And technically, you don't have internet because this isn't modern day, but you have a Wi-Fi thing, so you have internet.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
fine.
he has the crazy Wi-Fi thing.
I
Jeez.
get the homework by hacking into school every day. And then hacking into the nearest printer in the hospital and printing
The
it. off.
only person who hacks into school to get homework. Like, what?
And only because Imogen literally will not leave him alone if she doesn't. If he doesn't.
The rest of the time, I design stuff.
Okay, so we know what you're spending your time doing. Barnaby, what are you spending your time doing?
I don't think Barnaby spends his time doing very much. I think Barnaby rarely visits the two in hospital. But other than that, what Barnaby does is draws.
Okay,
Ooh, I like that.
you spend a week drawing. Layla, we'll for now just take the drawback off. We can discuss it in the after show, but you can just put a cross through.
Oh no, I am totally cool with having a drawback of guilt. I just, I'm completely 100%
Yeah, no,
down.
we have to decide like exactly how it applies. So for
Yeah.
now, just like put a question mark sign next to it. What do you spend your week doing?
Did I have a personal crisis at all, or no? You didn't say
yeah,
that.
you have a personal crisis that effectively, as a Slayer, you made friends for the first time, and it was great. You were enjoying it, and then your job got one of them killed.
Okay.
Now, it's not necessarily entirely like that, but that's somehow how part of you might rationalize it, and then the other part of you will feel guilt over that, and you will have a personal crisis because of that.
Gotcha. Okay. In that case, what is the deal with James as far as like, are they doing like a memorial service for him, that kind of thing?
The school has so many deaths quite commonly that they probably don't have a regular memorial other than the Monday assemblies. You could try and organize an actual memorial at the school if you wanted. The family have said that they're having a funeral which any of his friends at school are welcome to attend. From what you know, his family have no idea of you guys or particularly Barnaby's relationship with James.
Cool. I think that she probably does attend that, and
That'll be in a week's time. That'll also be when everyone else gets back. They'll still be technically under home rest, but everyone will be around for that. So in the week until then, what do you want to do?
I think Layla probably avoids being in the room because that's where it happened.
Oh yeah,
And-
you've got a new room temporarily. That's a crime scene. Everything's been bagged, including a frog.
Okay. Then in the front of the room, I'm probably taking care of John in our room, and then
You
also.
don't have John. John's been taken away for swabs and forensic testing.
Oh my god, that's
John
hilarious.
alive?
Okay.
John is alive. John is alive.
Okay, it's fine. Everything's good.
Then I guess I'm gonna like put together like a little, like kind of not shrine thing, but like whatever, like leaving stuff in front of the door, and like I'm sure other people will add to it and stuff like that. And I guess over the week, reaching out to the people who are like visiting and leaving flowers for the people who are still affected by the mind stuff, as well as visiting Rob and Imogen in the hospital.
Okay.
And probably, I don't know if I would have, I guess I'd probably find Barnaby as well at some point and try to talk to him, since he's the only one that's not in the hospital.
So firstly, Robert and Imogen. Rob and Imogen, you both get visited by Janet a few times since she was in hospital recently, and she kind of connects the fact that you probably have fixed her mind. She's intelligent enough to put two and two together. She does make sure to thank you, and she brings you homework as well. If you want to talk to her particularly, we can RP that moment if you want, or we can just skip to the next one.
Imogen's grateful for the homework, but does not express any emotion about her being there. She's been very flat affect this entire time. She's like, oh, thank you for bringing me the homework. I really didn't want to fall behind. But she won't ask anything about her.
I saw the bike, right? And I think I've been told about stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, when she visits, I bring something up. She's handing over homework or whatever, and I just like delete it off my laptop because I'd already
There
hacked
you
it.
go. That's the advanced calculus for today.
No, thank you. How are you feeling now after that whole time in the hospital?
Better. I, can actually do stuff and know stuff that's going on. Not having to focus to really think of anything.
Yeah, I hear it was not fun to experience. But before that all happened, you remember that time with the whole museum thing? I forget, was she in the museum?
She
Yeah,
was
there with
working
Imogen.
with Imogen.
Did you see the golem?
Yeah.
Yes, she did.
She really
She
did.
did. She saw the okay, that all happened then. Yeah, so she knows the supernatural stuff going on. All right,
Yeah.
I'll shut up with that. Yeah, so you've seen that now. You know there's something up. After what happened with you, you know there's something up.
Yeah. I mean, you'd have to be an idiot not to. Have you seen the death rate?
Yeah, it makes more sense by the day. You know how I always win the science fair?
So modest.
All the
Slight brag, you know.
Casual.
You know how I
casual
always
brag.
win the science fair?
Personally, I thought it was a bit unfair to enter the science fair with such a ridiculous advantage. It's why I never entered.
Oh, burn!
I think we can skip forward a fair bit in this, actually. You seem to be more aware of this than I was. So yeah, we have some sort of ability. I don't really get how it works, but it makes us really good at making stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know why you can do it?
No, but I really appreciate what you're trying to do, Rob. But considering what happened to the last friend to join your group, I kind of want to just avoid hanging out with you guys for a bit.
That's fair. That's probably for the best.
I mean, thank you for whatever it is you did that got my brain back. And I'll always owe you guys for that. And if you need a favour or whatever, you can call on me, but I'm not like you or Barnaby or Imogen or even that strange American girl. I just want to pass my test and go off and become an engineer. I don't want to end up shot in our dorm room.
Yeah. Do your best. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Hope you enjoyed the homework. It's really easy.
Yeah, it's probably take like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Some of us have to try, all right? Yells. Ruining moments.
And with that, she leaves.
Does, at any point, this is fairly unlikely, but just to check, because I want a word, does Violet visit at all?
Yeah, that's what we're coming to next.
Ah,
Violet visits. She visits Imogen first, and technically you do have separate wards because men and women's.
I know.
So she visits Imogen first. Hey, Imogen.
Oh, hi. She just continues doing homework.
You
Reading.
feeling okay? You kind of went a little bit uber.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. Patch me up. I'm sure I'll be back at it in no time.
Pretty
What?
good at that.
All right. Why are you here?
Just interested to see how you're doing. I mean, you also took my blazer when they carted you off.
No, I thought
She
one of the
really
nurses
needs
was
that place.
sure they can give it to you. Anyway, it's nice to see you.
And she goes off.
Do their parents visit at all?
I assume Imogen's family probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at some point, like if you really
Imogen's
want me to
family. I
roleplay
imagine
your
Imogen's
parents
family,
coming and
like
doing
the
the
whole
whole
crowd.
So
like
what
all her
happened?
siblings.
Well, a vampire. I fell down a flight of stairs. We can roleplay the entirety of that. For expediency's sake, I decided that yes, your parents do visit, but
Yeah, no. And her brother and her sister.
yeah. And even despite the fact they were meant to be visiting you in hospital, somehow your parents still managed to pay more attention to your siblings than you.
Oh, yeah.
On her way out, Violet pops her head into Rob's room, however. Hey, Rob.
Hello, Violet. What are you doing here? Didn't think you'd bother.
I was looking for my blazer. Imogen borrowed it because she was... when she...
That makes sense. You would probably care more about that than us.
They destroyed it because it was blood.
I'm sure you're devastated.
I mean, not that much.
I remember what you said just after the shooting.
Oh, yeah?
You don't care one bit about James. You never did.
Not really?
Then why did you grant his wish?
Because I care about what the wish meant. Not necessarily about James.
That's all that matters. The wish, the vengeance part. The people making the wishes don't matter.
It's the principle of the thing. He's just another pawn on the board. And he got taken. And in turn, Layla took Mr. Miller.
Do you care about Imogen?
She actually walks in at this point and kind of just sits down next to you. Over casually at this point. I'm still trying to work out what caring is. It's been a while since I've had to understand what caring means. She's certainly interesting. But
If you don't
caring is complicated.
If you don't care, what's the point?
The point would be that you and your friends took away my nice, safe job, and now I have to make do with what you've left me. And she's certainly the most interesting one of you.
Normal, boring mortality.
Yep.
We took vengeance because we cared. Because he mattered to us. You just take vengeance for the sake of vengeance. What's the point?
Make a willpower plus influence roll.
I'm gonna go well. I've got -2 influence. Sort it
I'll
on
say for
drama
the
point
purposes
in
of
this.
this,
This is
because your
dramatic.
argument is mostly logic-based, if you've got a negative, you can choose to treat it as 0.
All right, I'll do that, and I'm also drama pointing it because I want this to work.
5
19.
successes, okay. She sits thinking for a good 30 seconds on that. Maybe that's the difference between being mortal and all-powerful.
And I'll take mortality.
Back with it. So something has to change. Thank you, Robert. Really helpful.
I don't say anything.
She leans in and just puts her mouth right next to your ear and then says, "Just be warned. Mr. Miller was a new vampire. There's plenty of worse ones around. And whoever turned him might want vengeance."
I'll be ready.
It means back.
Damn, Bobbert.
Far more interesting than the rest of them give you credit for. And she looks in her bag for a moment and pulls out a small lint bunny, places it on your bedside board, and leaves without a word. You may add to your inventory that you have one turn to bunny idol.
Oh, it's operational. Awesome.
It's operational. He's
I
like
thought it was
such a
just
Rob
symbolic,
thing
but
to
it
say.
works.
It's operational.
Currently written on the side, by the way, is the name Layla.
Yeah, she did.
She makes a
did
new one every time. She's really
Yeah.
worried that Layla's going to try and kill her.
That's reasonable.
I quickly erased the Layla thing. Going just some random person starting to eat it, and Layla's head just disappears.
Okay. Meanwhile, Layla, you bump into Barnaby at the school. And one of the few classes Barnaby's actually attended. Barnaby?
I was going to suggest, unless it's important, that we meet at the hospital with the other two.
I would like, yeah. I think if he's cool with that, and I think Josh seems like he's on the same board with me. I think the first thing that Layla will do is actually go see Imogen.
Okay.
If I can choose the order of which of those things that I said I was going to do, if I could do that first.
Sure, in which case it would actually be fairly early on because you took Robert in and then Imogen kind of went in roughly the same time.
She brings herself to the ER.
Yeah. Along with Violet, who quickly left as soon as you got near the hospital. Yeah, sure, Violet. No, Layla, you visit Imogen in hospital.
So what happened?
Layla is just going to run up and hug Imogen.
Ow,
Yeah.
ow, ow.
Yeah, and then actually
Everything hurts.
Layla, or she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and Layla never usually gets, she's always hard up, but she is this time her eyes are welling up with tears.
What
And
happened?
I was so worried. Are you okay? What happened?
Well, James died, and then I think I restored Mr. Miller's soul. What happened there?
It happened so fast, and
And
Barnaby was,
saw that.
and Mr. Miller
Did you kill him?
had to. Barnaby was going to if I didn't, and I couldn't let him live with that.
Yeah, I suppose that's probably how it was going to end. I don't know. I I guess I wanted to watch him suffer a bit more. Know what
I
he's
just wanted
done.
I wanted to make sure you're okay.
A bit worse for wear. Turns out human flesh isn't really supposed to be a portal into magic for extended periods of time. Kind of hurt.
I can imagine. Layla kind of like looks away. She's like still sitting on the edge of the bed, or next to you on the bed.
Like,
And then
some of her flesh actually probably did like necrotize in the process.
Yes, yeah, no, you've got like bits
Rego.
of like what's it like the wadding they put like on? They've got like all the special nutrients and stuff in it, trying
Yeah.
to make your face like regenerate and like just covering you all over.
and then I look back and I just see you like that, and like she blinks and like she's trying. You can tell she's trying to hold back tears, but like they just come out anyway.
Are you okay?
I don't know. I don't think I can let you guys keep helping me.
It's not about that. We're in it now. And I'm with you on making sure no one else gets involved.
But if any of you get hurt, I don't know what I'll do, and they know that.
I did most of this to myself anyway. Violet, Janet, all of them, like, it doesn't matter. They won't be part of this because having friends is what led to caring about them being dead. But I won't let you stop me from being part of your life.
I don't want you to not be part of my life.
Well, your life happens to involve killing vampires.
She looks away again and then looks back at you, and she's just like, but if something happens to you,
Then something happens to me. How do you think I'll feel if something happens to you?
and Layla's gonna kiss Imogen.
Wah! Imogen's gonna be like, ow, ow, I'm so confused. What the hell are you doing?
Sorry,
No,
Layla actually stands up. She gets away from the end of the bed.
like pulls the covers up. Like, I don't know why you. Is it because I wasn't wearing a shirt? No, you didn't see that.
I'm sorry. I like you. I do. And then she walks away.
That's not how it works. Imogen just sits there and she's very confused. She goes to try and do some of her homework, and she's just like, I got nothing. Now Imogen has another crisis.
What the fuck just happened?
Imogen, your crises don't stack.
I know.
But your next crisis is, can people actually be interested in me?
Yep. It's called being a teenager.
Yes. Okay. In which case, the next one is Layla. Do you want to talk to Bobbert at all, or are you good?
Yeah, she didn't
Okay.
want to talk.
So I mean, immediately after Imogen, then, since they're effectively off the same hallway at this point, you can walk
You
in and
just
talk to
hear
Bobbert.
Imogen's yelling.
Yeah, and I just kind of I actually walk past Robert's room, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I need, because I'm kind of like frazzled, and then I go into Robert's room, and I'm a little distracted.
Layla walks
I'm in the
in.
middle
She's a
of-
little bit distracted. You can see that part of her lipstick is like slightly smudged on one side,
And she's blushing, probably.
and she's really blushing.
To be
Like,
clear, Imogen did sloppily try and kiss her back.
yeah.
She is not experienced.
You can really tell that Layla's blushing because normally she's got like that really like white makeup and she goes for like the slightly gothy look. Right now, like her cheeks are just shining through it like when you put like a pan on the hob and it just gets way too hot and it starts to glow red. Her cheeks are doing that.
I just look up from my laptop, like, oh, hey, Layla, are you all right?
Yeah, kind of. And she like kind of wipes away like like her face, because like she was crying. I mean, who cares about me? Are you all right?
Yeah, getting better. I'll be fine in a couple of days. Could have been different though.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's not your fault.
But it is. This is all my fault. If I didn't get you involved, then you wouldn't have to deal with this. You wouldn't be where you are right now.
Then someone else would be dead.
She like sits in the chair that's next to you, and she kind of just like leans forward, her like elbows on her knees, and she kind of has her hands on her face at that point.
Hey, you can't blame yourself for it. Just how it worked out. I mean, my bloody gun.
How can I not though? Look what's happened to all of you. And it's my fault. I don't even know how to stop it. And now that I have you involved, I don't know how to make it. I feel like we're stuck.
It's how it is. Someone has to fight them. If it was just you, it wouldn't be you for very long.
Why does it have to be me?
And then we'd all get killed. We're all holding the monsters at bay. If there were less of us, then it wouldn't be enough.
She like lifts her hands out of her head and looks up at you, and like tears are just rolling down her face. I'm so sorry.
I'll be alright. You're right, there'll always be another monster, but like we said before, we face them one at a time. Faced Penrose, now we face Miller. On to the next one. If we didn't, they'd have free reign. They'd take over, they'd kill everyone, probably.
I just want to say thank you. I mean, I probably don't say it enough. And she actually gets up and she like goes to hug him.
Ow, 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 ow. Imogen, you hear across the hall the same sounds that you made a minute ago.
Well, it's only my head that's injured, pretty much. The rest of me's fairly okay. It's just the gunshot
Doesn't
to
have
the
flesh falling off of him in
face.
places.
That is true.
So
she's
it's
like,
not quite so bad for me.
Sorry. Just
It's
thank
all right.
you.
I mean, thank you. I'd still be in that warehouse if it wasn't for you, probably.
What happened? I mean, I hear the police reports, but I'm assuming you guys covered up some of it. And she sits back in the chair.
Is she asking about the warehouse or the room?
The room. What happened to you? Yeah.
Like, cover up was fairly easy. It was basically the truth. Someone shot at the school.
I'm so sorry you had to see that. I don't know how much more I can say. I'm just so sorry.
It's not your fault. Whose fault it is still out there, in a sense.
Sorry, I'm laughing because people are telling me to kiss Robert too. I'm like trying to hold in the acting, but I'm like, I can't.
Kiss everybody! Share the love!
Runs onto the hall, finds a random nurse.
Yeah, I'm not laughing because of the what's happening. I'm laughing because of the chat.
Yeah,
I'm
just
laughing
like,
because James is dead.
Well, I know what we're gonna say to you later.
we can't worry about what's happened, like who's suffered, like whether we could have done things differently. We did them the way we did them, and we've got to keep trying. Should focus on what's next. Somebody turn Miller. We need to find them.
Yeah, maybe it's foolish for me to do what I did, but if I didn't, I know Barnaby would have, and I can't imagine what he's going through. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Just, she stands up and she's like,
In response to the thing about Barnaby, I'm like, I prefer this.
she like shakes her head and she's like, don't be an idiot. And just, you're pretty badass. And then she kind of like gives you a smirk and wipes away her tears and I'll visit again.
Like,
and she gets up and walks away.
Wasn't it?
Okay.
Top of the E.
So later, Layla, did you knock on Barnaby's door?
I don't know, wherever Barnaby wants to meet. Wherever you think I'd run into you first. I'm assuming you're probably trying to avoid me at first. I don't know, or maybe you're coming to me. I don't know how you would see that.
Barnaby wouldn't try and avoid you. Barnaby would probably be spending most of his time at like the art studios. Let's say that.
Talking to that weird girl that only paints in red.
Yeah.
I love that girl.
That sounds like a good theme. I like that. I should.
Yes, that's great, Carrie. I actually love, all of that.
Yeah, she's like splatting this red oil paint on the thing, and Barnaby just leans over like, if you want that to look like blood, you're going to have to make it look a lot more like deeper than that. It's not quite the right shade.
By the way, Barnaby, Mr. Woodbridge, the PE teacher, has had a word of the arts department, and you have a key to get in after hours if you want to go and paint.
Yeah, I do. Would stolen it otherwise.
Actually.
I guess Layla, knowing that she hasn't really seen Barnaby much, but other than like she's heard that he's hanging out in the art class a lot, we'll go find him at some point then, as he's making art. I don't know how you want to work that, EE.
Okay. You just walk in, you notice that Barnaby's there, it's late. He's got the place to himself. You kind of wanted to be able to talk to him properly, so it's nice that he's alone. There's no one else in the arts department. Your ability to just sneak in anywhere allows you to get past all the doors. Barnaby obviously has permission to be here with a key. You walk in and he's slowly painting something on an easel.
What does it look like you're painting, Barnaby?
I am painting something. It's kind of swirly. It's kind of watercolor and pencil. But it's not particularly distinct.
I don't know what it is yet. I see. So it's that weird phase where artists you're like, that looks like shit, but later it'll look like a mountain and you're like, what?
Step 1, put in the outline. Step 2, add some base coat. Step 3, finish the art.
Art with Barnaby.
Here's one I made earlier.
Okay. Layla walks in and she's just like, that looks nice.
Yeah, thanks. It's coming along.
Cool. How are you doing?
No, fine. Everyone's really nice. I'm spending a lot of time here. It's free, so I don't have to.
Yeah, I saw that they put your art on the wall out there. Like you have 4 paintings. That's pretty amazing.
A lot of spare time at the moment.
Yeah. I imagine that Layla's been doing her hunting in the evening, but she hasn't invited Barnaby because she still feels guilt of not wanting her friends to be in the line of combat. Yeah, sorry about that. I needed some alone time,
No, that's fine. You've got to figure stuff out. So did you want to talk about a thing?
Just kind of wanted to hang out.
Cool. Well, and he sets up like an easel and a small canvas and like hands her some stuff.
Oh God, Layla art. Yes.
Here you go.
Yeah. Okay. I've never done this before. I'm not really the artistic type.
I've seen you. You've got some a bit of dexterity. I think you'll be fine.
Just a bit.
So what do I do? She's like holding the thing.
Pick a thing and then put it on there.
All right, I guess. And Layla proceeds to try to paint something. What? She doesn't know.
Okay. So painting art is like what? Intelligence art or something like that?
Art, I believe.
Judging art is perception art.
Yeah, it maybe either
Everyone's, like,
intelligence or
phrasing.
dexterity art.
I think it's intelligence. I think there's actually like no dexterity ones I can remember.
Huh.
I think dexterity art is like if you're doing like dance or something. So this is an intelligence art roll, Layla.
Okay. How
Barnaby,
do
you
art?
can roll as well, and we'll judge you too.
Intelligence plus art. So I have no art. I want it to be low, so I'm not even going to do a drama point.
It'd be a weird thing to send a drama point.
A drama point, the art. Okay.
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 Maybe you want to make like amazing piece of art.
The most
Alright.
dramatic art you've ever seen.
I rolled a 5. It's the worst
Stab the
piece of art.
kid.
Does
Mom.
Barnaby lie to me? And he's like, that looks good.
I've got to do my roll now, and I'm scared. I only got like 3 plus 3, even though... Let's see how this goes. Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, Barnaby, you draw something. It looks vaguely like you're meant to like have it. You look over at Layla's, and Layla's put too much paint on the top, and it's actually starting to run down the painting. And she's desperately trying to like move it and stop it running, but she's just smearing it across the canvas at this point.
It's like just brown.
Yeah, it's just brown. It's all mixing together. It's
All
horrible,
the
like,
colors are
mishmash.
meshing together.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good start, Layla. You should. He takes the canvas and just like lays it down so it doesn't run, but then like do whatever. We'll see what happens in the end.
You don't have to lie to me. I'm terrible at this. It is kind of therapeutic, though.
Yeah, if you need it. Whew. So, patrol.
Yeah, I planned on going again tonight.
We should do that.
I don't know if you should go with me. I put you in enough danger as is.
Look at me. I'm fine.
Yeah, what was that? What happened to you? You look different. Did you like evolve or something? I don't know how demons do their thing.
Yeah, demon stuff. I don't know. It's not something I'm honestly particularly familiar with, but I was, bigger than normal.
Sorry. I'm so immature.
Hey, he was wearing pants.
Yeah. She like stands up and she's like, I'm pretty shit at this anyway, so if you want to join, you're welcome to join.
Yeah, we'll do the thing you're bad at, then we'll do the thing I'm bad at, and it'll even out.
Doesn't seem like you're as bad as definitely not as bad as I am at this.
Yeah, I mean, patrolling. What was it last time? I almost got. There was a vampire that burst out of the ground and grabbed me by the leg. So I think.
Yeah, but you were also pretending to be just not what you are.
Because
I don't think we knew that you were a demon at that point.
No.
Yeah.
You all did really well at not metagaming.
Yeah, we tried really, because just so
I
you
was
guys
trying
back
to get
home
you
knew,
that a
we
lot of
knew the
stuff
whole
was-
time that he was a demon. We're like, when is he gonna do his thing? And you went so many episodes without doing it. We were amazed.
I did try to get you to set a lot of stuff on fire.
Like you said, no more secrets. So, I mean, actually, that's. I'm not going to tell everyone. I
Okay.
don't think that's a great idea, but certainly you lot. Let's go on patrol.
Oh, I thought you meant like you had another secret.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't go around telling people that. That's dangerous. I mean, same reason I don't tell people what I'm all about. Well, to secrets. And we walk
down
off
some
together to
pace.
do our patrol.
Speaking of which, Barnaby, you get some new drawbacks. You get the drawback
Cool.
minority bisexual. Imogen, do you have that already?
I never
Okay.
took it. I did not
Okay.
take Jewish Wiccan bisexual because I was like, I've already got enough drawbacks. I
Wait,
literally
is she
want to point-
bisexual though? Because she like didn't want to kiss me. She freaked out.
Confused.
She's confused,
Okay.
so she doesn't have the drawback yet. Especially because it only really applies when other people know about it, whereas people
Yeah.
know Barnaby now. And you also get the
I
secret.
also want to point out I have run out of space on the list of drawbacks in the character sheet, so I don't know if you can add more roles. But I only had space for one extra when we started.
Go
and
to the
now I-
notes section. It's fine. Just list them in the notes section.
Where my spells are.
You can put it in qualities and just have a.
Yeah, no, I have. That's where I put it.
Barnaby, you also get the drawback secret demon.
Secret demon.
Secret
I
demon.
had that one all along, though.
Oh, did you have that all along?
No, just like narratively.
Oh, yeah, no, it's now actually officially a drawback that you are secretly a
Cool.
demon.
I too have no space. Hang on.
Yeah, I had secret, I have secret 3.
I do have one drawback we've not talked about yet.
I've only got 3 qualities and 3 drawbacks.
How did you not min-max this?
What? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drawbacks now.
I took 10 points in drawback so I could get 10 extra points in character.
Oh, points and drawback? I guess, did I only get 1 guilt and 1 for crisis?
We don't get points
You
for
don't
them
get points in
anymore.
that
you don't
character
get points.
creation.
But I took a lot in character creation. That's sweet, sweet.
I have 13 drawbacks. 13 points in drawbacks.
Yeah, because Slayer comes with some extra ones. Bless you. So,
Bless you.
we're going to finish this
Sometimes.
off. A week later, you all go to James's funeral.
You have to end it on this, don't you, E? Why?
Because we're going to do a time jump for next episode.
All right, I guess we're all probably sitting together.
Okay.
Or maybe Barnaby's not sitting with us. I don't know. He does have his lads.
Might try and sit near the front.
Sure, you could probably find some space up front.
Yeah.
People ask you, like, how you know Barnaby, etc.
I know him really well.
Oh,
Your roommate
really?
Is Barnaby.
It's the old woman, by the way, that you sit near on the bus every day.
I mean, they were roommates, so like that's like a strong bond regardless. Whether or not you're dating.
Yeah, he meant, how do you know James?
How do you
Not-
know James, dear? She's still knitting.
I know him from school. We
Oh.
we're in
That's
a room
lovely.
together.
Oh. Such a shame what happened.
Hmm. I mean, what? Like. Oh, yeah. Yes, it's terrible.
Yes. It's why I've said all along we shouldn't have a shooting club at the school. It's too dangerous for kids these days. They can't be trusted.
Yeah, I don't know. Did they ever figure out who did it?
Yes, didn't you hear? It was a hunting accident. One of the kids got into the storehouse and nicked one of the guns, and they just happened to accidentally shoot through the window into the boarding. It was fluke. A terrible accident. You thought you'd know. I thought you said you lived with him.
Yes, I do.
You mean did, dear?
We'll see.
That's a good place to end it for tonight. Okay. So that was a fairly emotionally charged episode. How's everyone feeling?
Feelings. They are. I have.
Lots of feelings. This after show is going to be interesting. That's for sure.
Okay. So, lots of really tough RP there. I'm going to be handing out drama points for all the amazing RP and stuff. Like, especially like Robert's chat with Violet was amazing. I just didn't see that one coming. At least I saw.
Robert had so many good ones.
Yeah.
Robert's combos are great.
Like I saw some of the Imogen and Layla stuff, but I didn't expect you just to come up with that complete and utter like shooting her down. Just wow.
I've been waiting a week for it. After what she said about James, I'm like, I'm not letting that go.
Fair play. So yeah, we're Roll4It. We do role-playing stuff every Sunday and every Monday. Tomorrow, in fact, we have Divinity Original Sin 2 Game Master Mode, Death in the Family, which I'm GMing, and which Lauren has to get up for at like 8 a.m. I mean, it starts at 8 a.m. for you, so you have to get up like before that. That's great. But also,
I'll put my ears on again.
Everyone with blue hair. I'll be there. Josh will be there.
I'll have blue hair.
And Benson will be there.
Soon.
And of course, we'll have Blue Jay.
Contract will be complete.
So that's going to be a lot of fun. We're still experimenting with, how to really get the game into the RP, to the show format, but we're really enjoying it so far, so hopefully you can come along. That'll be 2 hours earlier. It'll be 4 p.m. GMT, but also 8 a.m. PT, so it'll be a little bit earlier. We're streaming it here, same place. You can always check out our VODs over at YouTube. Please also bear in mind that this episode was brought to you by our very, very nice Patreon supporter, Jothu, so thank you very much to Joe.
You're a legend, bro.
Yes. So, if you want to support the show, you can do the Patreon stuff, etc. But, until next week, or possibly tomorrow in the case of 4 of us, we'll go through people and where you can find us. So we'll start off with Maggie, since you're going to be gone the longest. Until next week. Oh, I don't know if we can survive that long. Maggie, where
I
can we
know.
find you?
Oh my gosh. This was pretty awesome. And I'm sorry, I'm an idiot, and I forgot that vampires die from steaks.
I just assumed you said the wrong word, because I do that all the time.
No, I
I basically
didn't.
have selective aphasia. Like sometimes I'll be like, oh, I want to drink the vacuum cleaner. Wait, this is a bottle. I will say something like kill when I mean hurt or something.
So I apologize, and I'm sorry that messed up
It's
a lot of
okay.
stuff. And you guys can find me at Margaret Crone in all the places: Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all the things. I actually will be doing some more RP action on Monday, not with the Roll4It crew, but over at Shadowcasters Network with the Join the Anarchy crew. So I'll be playing Shadowrun Anarchy. I will be playing my Sally Sindro character. I really love her. She's so much fun.
You rock the outfit, by the way. You look amazing on that.
Thanks. And that will be at 6 p.m. PST over on their channel. And definitely tune in on Monday. It's going to be our second episode of Divinity. These guys are amazing. They've been rocking it. So yeah.
Okay, so until next week, also tomorrow, where can we find our favorite chicken bard / demon boy?
You can find me at Gaming FTL on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, and Tuesday I'm streaming on Twitch. If you want to join me, I'll be playing more Divinity Original Sin, but the actual campaign and not one GM'd by EE.
So more NPCs will probably live.
Yeah, there's a lot more living and a lot more chickens.
They carried around
Even
a
more
dead
chickens.
body for hours.
My character carried around.
Yeah, your character carried
the
it around, but
strongest.
they were just talking to people casually while they're just carrying a dead body. I'm like, what is going
I don't know where to
on?
put it.
That's what you have to look forward to. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm glad
And
you
then
did
I
it with
ate
James's
flesh.
body, just halfway through, like, Layla just been walking around with James over your shoulder, like, I don't know where to put him.
Oh my gosh, the next goal for you guys, like the next donation goal should be everyone dresses up in a chicken costume.
I have a chicken hat.
My magic
Yeah.
works.
We
See,
can't
the
make
ne-
any
the
more
next-
agreements with the chat.
Josh is like, yes, chickens.
The next tier of support on Patreon is merch, which technically we're at, but we got to wait until the end of the month to see if we're actually over it. So I thought for a moment you were going to be like, a merch idea. You can get the stuff
I already
of
put that
James
as a
that
merch
you can put
idea.
on your shoulder. What?
Yeah.
That's a merch idea.
Yeah.
Dark.
That's
And no.
really, yeah.
Really
Really
no.
macabre.
Just stop it. Just, yeah, just stop, okay?
Anything related to James, just...
There's no torso merch.
No, instead it's like, you know the boyfriend thing that you can buy that hugs
Oh, body
you?
pillows.
Yeah, it's James.
We
James
should get
body-
body pillows.
Yep.
James body pillow. On one
of
side
those.
it's James, on the other side it has bullet holes.
Just
Yeah.
stop.
Yes,
Burn
let's
them
continue
all.
sexualizing dead teenagers.
Every single.
Okay,
Now you feel bad.
Bentham, where can we find you when you're not talking down ex-vengeance demons?
That was fun. I am Bentham, and my YouTube channel is Mangleport Gaming for confusing reasons and occasional sudden realizations. And I play lots of indie games such as Factorio mostly, well not much, but more so recently. You alright?
Chat, sorry, somebody chat just said roll cold, Lauren.
Cold to shut you down.
Perfect.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I play Factorio and Kingdoms and Castles and stuff. And I'm currently doing weekly live streams with Peachy Pixelate, who was GMing our Star Trek show, and also Sheepdog Gaming, where some people love it and some people hate it. So last stream I started reading out massively negative comments during the stream, because that was fun.
Funny.
And they've started getting flagged for not being ad friendly because apparently YouTube's managed to actually look at the real contents of videos now and aren't just basing it off the titles, because I made perfectly tame titles. It's just that the contents of the videos were slightly not ad friendly.
I don't
Wasn't my
know,
fault.
I had a video where it misheard me, and in the subtitles it put a racial slur, which I had to edit out because I was like, well, that's not new. And it was like, this video is completely ad friendly. I was like, well, you're definitely not looking at your own metadata then, are you? So I don't believe YouTube anymore. Anyway. That's a lot of fun Factorio goodness. Lauren, where can we find you when you're not shutting people down with cold?
When I'm not shutting people down with cold, I'll be here
No,
tomorrow.
Lauren, you're always doing that.
I'm always doing that. I'll be here tomorrow, and then I will be streaming again on my own channel on Tuesday and Thursday. But if you happen to look at the Twitch front page, I will also be there on Tuesday and Thursday for the cosplay showcase. So, gonna be making stuff. Yep, that'll happen. That'll be Tuesday evening and Thursday morning. And then on Wednesday, I am GMing Leviathan Distant Stars, which is a Stars Without Number RPG on twitch.tv/geekspacetv. So
Okay.
that's me until next week. Oh, and then I'll be streaming on my channel today in like 2 hours.
All the feels.
Same.
Okay.
I'm gonna be streaming dumpling eating though. He's like, what?
If it gets the views.
Dumplings are delicious.
We're going to this place that like makes all kinds of crazy dumplings, and we're gonna try to eat all of them.
Sounds great.
Oh dear. As for myself, I'm Enter Elysium. Catch me at youtube.com/Enter Elysium, twitch.tv/Enter Elysium, and of course here tomorrow. I have a few series that are coming to a head right now. I think I've got Stellaris that's coming to a head. We've just finished Bomber Crew. I'm going to be doing a few more things. I've got a few games I want to check out. And hopefully we'll be doing some streaming throughout this week at some point on my channel. Otherwise, I don't know if I'm actually here this Saturday, so I might not be streaming on the normal Saturday. There might be a small break for a few days. I've got a few things I have to deal with, so I might end up not having a chance to record for a few days. So if there's like a small gap in videos, don't worry, I will be coming back, probably. Unless rocks fall, you know, that's up to my GM. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. You can of course support us in the normal places and go check out the VODs in the normal places. You can also catch us over on the Twitters, on the subreddits, and of course if you want to go fill out the wiki, you can do so and add more stuff and information. And if you're not sure on any information, you can go check out the wiki to look for said information. But until next time,
Do we get
Rip
any
James.
donations or any of those
Oh,
things?
yes, we did.
Sorry.
Good call.
Just want to
Good
make sure
call.
you don't
Good
forget.
call. There's so much emotion tonight. It's
All the mods are immediately going, tips. I knew, guys. I already knew.
good call. Still loading. Still loading. Still
They're
loading.
literally all the mods spammed me on every channel to ensure that I knew that.
They're on the ball. They
Yeah,
always
no, I just
remember
got
the
shouted in the mod chat. It turned up as you said it
I know.
because of the
I
chat delay.
saw. I remembered it before.
We have two. Dotton, $25. Has anyone mentioned that Imogen's topless yet? Or that Barnaby's a giant super mad demon? Also, James is dead. Did I mention topless?
Just another day at the office.
Yeah,
You
Dotton
know.
and Maggie have the same mindset there.
We just want to make sure people know visually what's going on. Lauren's muted, so
I wasn't going to tell her. I
she's
was
saying
thinking-
some sassy
I
stuff.
unmuted myself. I'm just gonna sit here now.
And I'm sorry,
Imogen had been
Lauren.
around when Robert went out again. His last words totally would have been, "Wait, why are you?"
We also got a $5 tip from The Unspeakable. The Unspeakable has changed their name back to Unspeakable after peer pressure from the group. For all the fan art, remember, consent is important.
No means no.
Especially when it comes to a stake to the grind. Anyway, until next time, roll safe. And this is going to be one hell of an after show. Which you can find on Patreon at the $5 tier. #shill.